What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chatting with the Comic Community. I'm Sean, the host, Stay Puft 1983, and I welcome my two esteemed guests on the show. I have Bronze Age Bryon. What's going on? Star Trek. Magic, Lasso, Ryan, what is good? Glad to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
No problem, man. I know when I asked you, Ryan, when you was available, like if you were to come on and you said you had that show with No Good Comics, which was a great show, phenomenal show. I gotta get you on here, and we set up this date. And after we set up the date, Brian reached out to me and said, "Hey, I want to jump on the live chat with you guys." So I was like, "Hey, you can jump on with Lasso, and your backgrounds with radio." I was like, "Ah, that's perfect." Lasso and Brian together.
We have similar radio backgrounds, but obviously with his name, he loves the Bronze Age, and that's my wheelhouse too. So when I found out that he was going to be on here, I was super excited too.
Yeah, and it's awesome to get new members on to jump on the show, because, like I said, anytime I get a new guest on the show, they automatically can come back anytime they want, and we just have fun talking, And today, with you two, I'm gonna start with you, Brian. Your comic book origin story. Every time a new guest come on, they have to talk about how they got into comics and what made them love being in this hobby. So, starting with you, Brian.
Yeah, great, man. I love to talk comics, obviously. I could probably put everything into a little capsulation thing. Everything for me with comics, I have to say, probably started with my father. I was born in 1971, and by that time, Super Friends were on Saturday morning cartoons in 1974, 1975, so I'm drawn into that as a very young child. And probably if things were different, my dad probably could have been a penciler for a comic book company. He was a fantastic artist and used to draw for little comic strips, and I still have them from the 1940s framed in my home over in another part of the house. This boxing character that he created, and they used to hang in the local barber shop. This is like World War II era. My dad's like 15 years old because he was born in 1932. So it was really interesting to find those all those years later, that he just had stored away. So one day for Father's Day, my wife had them nicely framed for me. So that was just so amazing, because I was kind of just keeping them here in the house and really didn't think of anything. And she had them all cleaned up and framed, and that was amazing. So, but my dad also he worked in a steel mill. We're originally from Pittsburgh. So like, if you didn't work in a steel mill, like, where did you work? But, we were obviously kind of, hovering around middle class to, whatever, just getting by kind of family status. And he would actually bring a ream of brown wrapping paper home for Christmas every year, wrap our gifts in that brown paper, and then draw superheroes on the presents, like Batman and, Spider-Man and all kinds of crazy stuff. And that was our wrapping paper, from the time I was like 3 until I was like 10, so it was pretty crazy. So all that is etched in my mind. That, of course, like I said, is the Saturday morning cartoon era. That is the Mego action figure era. It evolved into the Star Wars action figure era. So I got to, as a young boy, I got to be absorbed in all that stuff. And then, of course, once I started going to the mall, with my grandparents, they had spinner racks in these bookstores. So it was a natural migration from these TV shows and action figures for me to jump into comics. And actually, my first run with comics was Mike Grell's Green Lantern, Green Arrow. That's the series I first started creating in the late 70s there, and collected that, and then jumped into George Perez's Teen Titans and Action Comics with Giordano, and it just went from there.
Nice. That was awesome, man. And when you started getting more into comic books, did that started your collection hobby that built up over the years?
The collection hobby, unfortunately, I don't think really kicked in until about 1988 or so. And of course, when I was real young collecting these comics, sometimes they would obviously get left outside. I'd go camping with my grandparents, and comics at 35 and 40 cents were kind of disposable. But you're talking about now, DC's going to raise Batman to $6. That's not extremely disposable nowadays. So, but comics were a little bit more disposable, and even prior to that, comics being a quarter and 15 cents, probably even more disposable, much like, pass along readership kind of stuff. And that's kind of what happened. I remember in grade school, trading a bunch of stuff. And if I think back when I look at some of these shows that spec out books, I'm like, my gosh, I had that Spider-Man 101, I mean? But now I gave it to Jason because he gave me Super Friends #5. We used to pass around books like crazy just because, no one was specking on anything being valuable. They were just books and they were just paper to us. But now it's expensive paper and, it's a real hobby. So, and my books just used to stack up in the drawer. So what I've been doing now is going back, trying to find a lot of the books that I really loved as a kid, getting better copies of them. And then I started pressing and cleaning comics about a year or so ago. So I've got my own press, getting the spine roll out of some of those books and, taking better care of things, obviously. But, that led into a real collecting habit in the late 80s and, of course, the comic boom in the 90s that we're all aware of, where I was probably collecting about 32, 35 titles a month from 1989 to like 1995. So all the income gone, comics.
Wow, and you know what? I'd rather go back to that era where comics was still like $1.25 or $1.99. Yeah. You could spend $5 on 2 books. Now 2 books is like almost $9 and shit.
Yeah, you really have to pick and choose what you're going to read and or collect.
Yeah. It was great hearing about your dad, being an artist and drawing. That had to be very inspirational because I used to draw a lot when I was younger, especially in the 90s when, that was the era that I got into comics die hard. And I used to draw like different characters like Savage Dragon and Wolverine and even, video game characters like Sonic and stuff. Sure. And then the huge Dragon Ball Z rage in the late 90s when I started drawing that. And then I just kind of stopped doing it around 2000s and never really picked back up on it. But for your dad to actually be an artist and have various work, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like I said, in a different time, different era, he got drafted to the Korean War in 1951. So, had that not occurred, maybe, of course, then when he came back, he got a job at a steel mill and, he always was drawing. Where he would draw things for church, he would draw, religious things in church and all kinds of things. So he was always actively drawing, but never really pursued it as a career. But I do think he had that skill set had he ever decided to.
So who are some of your favorite characters? Comic book characters and stuff?
Well, like I mentioned, everything kind of started with Green Lantern, Green Arrow. I really don't know what captivated me. Well, I love the color green. So I always have for whatever reason. I don't know. So I've been drawn to Oliver Queen, Hal Jordan. I've just been drawn to those characters. And I really took a liking to George Perez's Teen Titans, that run. So I collected all that run. So I've got all those books. And like I said, now I'm going back and getting better copies of those books to make them mainstays in the collection because they're a little banged up for me collecting them from 1980 on. So those are the big ones that I collect a lot. And then Shazam is probably another one. As you can see, I'm mainly a DC guy. I drifted into Marvel, obviously, into the 90s with the X-Men explosion. I mean, who couldn't with the Fox animated show, all that marketing and hype behind that. I had a buddy of mine worked at Toys R Us, and we were collecting those action figures from, was that Toy Biz, I think it was. They did the action figures for that. And I remember it's like trying to climb over people just to get an Iceman figure because it was the rarest of the rare of that run. They shipped like one Iceman figure every like 7 crates, so when they come in, get over here to Toys R Us, we dig through those before they put them on the shelf, So I guess that's probably insider trading, isn't it? I don't know, but we kind of get that stuff ahead of people. But but I had all that stuff, and like I said, the big X-Men boom. But Shazam, Green Arrow, Teen Titans, that is a big thing for me. And I still read Shazam today. I love the Future State Shazam. It just came out. Pensica's art he did on that was great. Tom Sheridan writing the story. The Jeff Johns run was okay. I think they tried to gear it down a little bit more to like a 12-year-old, which I get because the movie kind of goes that way, which I enjoyed. But the 2-book era, and I don't know what they're going to do with him now. I know he's kind of hovering around the Titans Academy titles, but I'm not sure what the future plans are for Shazam in terms of a monthly book.
Well, you mentioned Jeff Johns, and we all know that he had an iconic run on Green Lantern.
For sure.
You know, the hype, the hype. I didn't get into that till later on when I picked up the omnibuses and I read it, and I was like, damn, because I was a big Marvel guy growing up, you know, and I ventured into DC like mainly with Superman and Batman because those were the two characters that had movies, you know, back in the 80s and 90s. So those were the two characters I knew of, along with Wonder Woman, because of the 70s TV show with Linda Carter. I grew up off those reruns. So outside of that, I wasn't really reading much DC until like probably the 2000s. And then when I picked up the Jeff Johns omnibus and read that, I was like, wow, this is freaking amazing, man. Then I had to go get the other two omnibuses, you know, to read that whole set. So Jeff Johns, that's when I started reading more of Jeff Johns' work, you know, starting with that Green Lantern, and then I went to JSA. Yeah. And I was like, that stuff was phenomenal work.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the JSA plays out in the Black Adam movie, because, you know, we're hearing all kinds of rumblings of them casting Hawkman and Atom Smasher, and if you saw just recently Dr. Fate with Pierce Brosnan, which is, you know, so I'm hoping the DC can kind of pick up from some of these missteps and all these, you know, Schneider cut shenanigans and stuff that was going on in the media, and you'll find their footing and really, you know, get some good stuff going on.
Okay, I'll have some internet freezing issues on me.
That's all right.
Well, that's awesome stuff, Brian. You know, it was awesome hearing about your dad and your art, his artwork, and, you know, you growing into comic books. You know, living through all the probably the greatest Saturday morning cartoons ever, man. You know, we had a Saturday morning special talking about the cartoons we grew up with, man. And, you know, kids today would just never know how important Saturday mornings was to us growing up. Because that was like holy day for us. You know, yeah, you had Sunday the following day, but Saturday morning was like, bam, gotta watch cartoons.
Count Chocula and Super Friends, brother.
Okay, we got Dusty Brick Brown popped in. It's dark. Can you hear us, Al? Guess he's not getting a good internet connection. So we'll come back to him later. Right. So Ryan, the floor is yours now.
Well, thank you. My origin is very similar to Brian's. Super Friends cartoon being a huge influence on me loving comic books. And anyone that's paged through a Bronze Age comic book, you see all these different ads, usually for a company called Heroes World. But you would see all these advertisements for products like the Migos and Color Forms and Presto Magic and race cars, and all with superhero images on them. All of those products I remember seeing at the stores when I was out and about. Now, keep in mind, I'm from a very small town of like 1,000 people. There's no fast food in this town. There's no stoplights in this town. There's no hospital. So we would have to travel at least 45 minutes to get to a town that had like a Kmart or something like that. But all of those products would be in those stores. Plus, I would see like there would be superhero flicker sandals or superhero beach towels, and just I never remember superheroes not being around me somewhere in my life. And I know that that's what got me interested. And I know I had comic books, and even remember saying to my parents how much I loved Wonder Woman. I had no idea that she had her own book. No idea at all. And
hold on for a minute. Al, you hear us? Hey, Al, do you hear us? No, he's frozen up now. All right, Al, you'll have to come back on later. All right, you can go ahead.
Okay. So I had no idea that I knew of Wonder Woman from the Super Friends cartoon, from the Linda Carter TV series, and from the Justice League and Super Friends comic books, but I had no idea that she had her own book. And I remember my parents saying, well, she has her own book. And I still remember being dumbfounded, like mind exploded. And it took a few weeks before we found a copy. In this little small town of 1,000, there were two places that sold comic books. There was a drugstore that had them on a spinner rack, And then there was a supermarket that just had them in a magazine section. And that's where I would get my comic books at. And I've been a fan of superheroes and comic books, like I said, as far back as I can remember. And around 87, 88-ish, I kind of diverted a little bit and got away from comics and kind of went into music for a while. But then I came back around the year 2000 or so, and I just really tried to focus exclusively on Wonder Woman and filling in as much Wonder Woman stuff as I could. And now within the last 2 to 3 years, I've kind of expanded out more and wanted to start filling in the runs and the holes in the runs of the titles that I've been collecting. And the Bronze Age certainly holds such a special place in my heart. And now, instead of just being so Wonder Woman focused, being that type of a focused collector, like I said, it's pretty much Marvel and DC, but anything Bronze Age, I definitely dig. I'm really into the Silver Age as well too, but just trying to expand some even big titles like X-Men and Avengers and Justice League and stuff like that to smaller titles like She-Hulk that I finished up, Savage She-Hulk, and stuff like the Spider-Woman was another one that I enjoyed. So, and in between all of this, I was a Wonder Woman merchandise collector too. So I've got a huge stack of Wonder Woman merchandise, and you won't believe how much stuff has come out over the years with that character on it. So some crazy stuff, from lava lamps to it is believed that possibly the first Wonder Woman merchandise item that was not a comic book was a 1943 Valentine. And I actually have one of those, so that was pretty cool.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is like a huge part of your comic book collection, you know. And I've seen some AOKs, like from Man Cave Comics and others, where you've gotten some phenomenal, great, like Silver and Golden Age books that, you know, you got pretty emotional with some of those.
I did. First of all, it doesn't matter. No one has to send me anything, but the fact that someone would think of me to send me a book, regardless if it was Wonder Woman or not, just means the world to me. I certainly don't expect that. Everyone that, even if you say hi to me in a chat or whatever, that means something to me, because that's time away, you know, or time that you could have been doing something else and you wanted to throw a little attention my way. And that means the world to me. You know, every subscriber, every commenter means the world to me. No one ever has to give me something, but I just remember, you know, especially the Man Cave AOK, he sent me Wonder Woman 98, which is the first Silver Age Wonder Woman. Unbeknownst to him, he had no idea. I had been throwing money in an envelope here and there when I could, $5 here, $10 here, whatever, in hopes of someday saving up and being able to buy this book. And I didn't expect it. I mean, Man Cave always does these massive bangers, and I didn't have any idea what he was going to send me. I certainly didn't expect it to be that book. And I remember flipping that book over and looking at it and going, it just didn't sink in for a minute. It's like, this can't be that book. It just can't be. And I knew that, I think what really got me were two things. Number one, like most people, last year was a heck of a year for me, as it was for a lot of people, and just was not a fantastic year. But that, and the fact that when I looked at that, I knew that that was meant for me. It wasn't just some book that he had laying around saying, I'm tired of this book or whatever, I'll just send it to him. I knew that he put attention and care into that. And every AOK that I've received, I can tell that the attention and the care was there, and it was meant for me. They thought of me when they sent that. And just knowing that someone would make that effort just meant the world to me.
Amazing, man. I mean, you're such a stand-up guy when it comes to your videos, and you know how you go over books and explain, you know, what that book means to you and how it impacted your life, because you've been hunting that book for years, you know. Yeah. And for it to be A-OK to you as a surprise, you know, that's something that can take anybody aback, you know. And that video.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that video really made me think how great this community is. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, from all the AOKs I received, you know, and this was when I started on Instagram, and people's like, you know, I see you're missing like this Captain Glory book, Jack Kirby from the 90s. And like, hey, I got a copy, I'll send you it. And I didn't even know who this guy was.
Yeah.
You know, like he had just followed me, saw that post, and then said, hey, I could send you, I got an extra copy of it. And then he sent me some extra issues too. I was like, no, and that's when I realized like this community is much more than just showing off what you got, you know.
Oh, absolutely. There's such a heart in this community, and I'm so lucky. You know, I've been doing this for, you know, getting close to about a year and a half, or around that range or so. And people still are excited. And I can feel that when I come into a chat room and just say hi to people. They're just happy that I'm there. And what a feeling that is. You know, that makes me feel like $1,000,000. And I'm so appreciative of being able to be included into this community.
That's awesome. And we are joined by Al. Can we hear you this time?
I can't hear.
Yes,
Al, we can hear you. Can you say that again? Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
I see somebody back there flexing. He must have scored something big. And they froze on that flex. Oh man. I knew the internet was gonna be a problem with them. G-Man,
Buddy,
how's it going?
exactly what you're talking about, Magic Lasso, buddy. You guys are awesome. Lasso, you and I are like neighbors. And when you're talking about AOKs and wonderful people in the community, I'm going to put another shout out because I can't stop staring at it. And this is from Matt Gretzky. He actually hired somebody out of Eau Claire, which is 87 miles from me, and had them do a cover swipe for 537, a Fantastic Four. Look at this.
Oh man, I got big screens.
Wow.
Doom.
Yeah, that was an AOK from Matt Gretzky. Unbelievable. Beautiful, beautiful book. I got the book.
That
but
is
this
awesome.
The art piece is awesome.
That is amazing, yeah.
Cool.
That is amazing.
And getting on that same note, Steve Whiting. You want to see a Steve Whiting drop? This is a big shout out for my brother. I got these in the mail just the other day. This is funny. You're going to love this. All right. Big shout out to Steve Whiting. He sent me an AOK as well. And it's kind of a clash between him and Bueller. And I finally got some Bueller memorabilia. I love it. Got one of those.
Yeah. Nice.
I freaking love it. Love it. Love it. That's going on the wall. Gave me every one of his prints. I thought that was just cool. And by the way, if you guys don't know, he actually came out with a book. I pre-ordered mine. And that one's going to be pretty cool. This is another Bueller book on the back.
Yep.
Yep, another one there. And then another picture swipe. Very, very cool. I'll get to this is fire, Bueller. Don't worry. This is fire. This is good. Big shout out to Bueller, though. But here's the fire. Here's what blows me away. So me and Steve go back a ways, and we both have difference in, all of us do. My collection kind of goes all over the place, but one of the characters I've been like focusing, other than my Silver Surfer line, is I've been trying to get the first issue of Deja Thoris. Okay. And this thing is unbelievable. It's a second printing, but you know what? I do not care because it comes from the heart. He put it in a Mylar. This is the best copy I've found of this book yet. And that was an AOK from Steve Whiting.
Wow.
This is so cool, you guys. I want to show you something. All right. What's cool about this, the original book, I think, came out in like 53. I think the first printing, I have to look it up. I always keep forgetting. But if you're ever wondering why is G-Man going with a brunette, not a redhead? Well, I'll give you an example. I like strong female characters like Wonder Woman, always. And I like smart women as well. And the cool thing about Deja Thoris is she's a warrior, princess, could be a queen, and she's intelligent all at the same time. So it makes it even that much better. Steve, Jeff, what's
Yeah.
up? There you are, buddy.
Not much, not much.
Hey,
Check
Jeff.
this out. Just
You
friggin'.
finally got one?
Oh my goodness, buddy. The one I got from Steve is fantastic.
Yeah.
Best copy I found. So on here, you guys, just to show you, they have it in black and white on the inside. Characters of Mars, okay, of the story. I love this storyline going all the way back, even the reprints of this, because I grew up with this character, and I even enjoyed the movie that they had on Disney. I thought it was good. It brought these characters all to life, and there she is there. Right there. There we go. But look at this copy. I mean, it's like...
Yep. That's
Yeah,
from John DeVille and Tom and them. That's where we found it.
It's fantastic.
Oh, that's nice.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Lasso, I have to jump on that bandwagon when you talk about wonderful people in the community.
Oh, there's so many. But you know, when you showed that cover from our perspective, if you didn't know better, you would almost think that was Vision with his back to us.
Yeah. Sorry. And then he gave me a mystery. He knows I like this line because going to issue 2, 3, 4, and 5, you have H.P. Lovecraft stories. These are mini stories dropped into these. Yes, some of them are reprints, but that's okay with me. I am totally up for that. I love that, love that, love that. And then this is what blew me away. Sent me some horror comics, a magazine.
Mm-hmm.
These are so clean. I can't believe it. Look at this. Vault of Horror, Werewolf. Got everything going on that cover.
I think that came from John DeVille and them too, I think.
Did it? Did it?
Yeah, I think it came from the same guys,
Beautiful.
I think.
Here's the one that rocked my. Other than that, this was awesome. Does everybody remember this movie? I do. I watched it many times when I was a kid, and watched the reprint or remake of it. Remake wasn't as good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Land Before Time. Love that. That is just straight fire. Look at that. Look how clean that is. But big shout out. Steve, thank you so much.
Probably
I'll be
watching.
showing him on my show as well. What's that, buddy?
He's probably watching.
That's okay. I'm still thanking him anyway. And it's again, I'm doing another unboxing and unveiling on Sean, my brother here.
Hey, it's always great to have you on, G-Man.
Thank you, buddy. I love being with you. You know that, and I cannot wait when all this crap is over because we all have got to get together.
I agree.
Yes.
Man,
Agreed.
we get together.
Hey,
I'm
Jeff,
telling
you
you,
going to
somebody-
Olo tomorrow, right?
No, because they're coming to Tampa in 2 weeks. They're coming to yeah. There's a Florida State Fairground. The fairgrounds is having a little toy show, so they're gonna be at that. So me and Steve are probably ended up hitting that one up.
Pull me up really quick. Steve is watching. I want to say something to him.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
There you
Hold
go.
on. Steve, mwah, mwah, mwah. You'll see me kiss another butt. This was awesome, buddy. I love you, dude. Thank you so much. Really, seriously, thank you. Fucking awesome. Sorry for my language. Sorry.
No, you're good.
You
But
good?
this
You're good.
is just smoking, buddy. Thank you so much. You just know how to hit my heart like right away.
Yeah. I got my
Alright.
MP3 back finally.
Awesome. But before we get to that, I want to see if Al can hear us.
I hope so. Is he comic book hunting?
Yeah.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Great.
He's
Good
hunting,
afternoon. Good afternoon.
buddy.
Afternoon.
Yes. This is a comic hall. I don't know why it's looking like this, man. Why is it looking like this, Matt? I don't know why.
Hold on.
Reflecting off the mirror, it looks like. That's kind of cool.
Hold on a second, guys.
Well, you are pointing in the right direction with all them nice books you got there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, we got this one for you, Sean, if you can see it.
Hold on.
Actually, he got it right now.
Hold on, Sean. This for you, brother.
Oh! Oh!
That's freaking awesome.
Bumper
Hey, and it's
comic.
$1. It's $1.
$1.
Oh man, I wish I was there with you guys right now hunting.
Hey, man, we got a whole bunch of stuff, man. We got I got this one.
Sweet.
Hey man,
Hey, I just figured. Sorry, did everybody know this here?
Original
Oh, what
sin.
is that?
Why do I do that? Why is that ringing a bell?
First, this is the first unofficial appearance of the Crow.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, $1.
Yeah, grab that.
I'm gonna just show y'all what we're dealing with now. Where we are right now is actually not the store where we're supposed to be. The actual store is next door. But this is the actual. They have a separate location for like comic books. Like everything is $2, but if you buy 50 books, you get $1. So this is pretty much.
Oh my goodness.
Hey Sean, did you collect Conan the King?
I have a couple of issues.
Look
I
at all
don't
that
have the whole
fire
one.
sitting on the table.
This
Oh
is
my
what we
goodness.
found so far. So we were gonna pull some for you if you collected them.
Oh, cool.
Now all
Yeah.
these are like if we get 50, it's $1 a piece. So
Sweet.
That is
That-
fantastic.
so your short boxes are like 100, and you can put whatever you want to in it, from what I understand.
Oh man. I'd be there all day.
This gentleman's name is John.
How you doing, guys?
Yo.
What's going on?
Oh, gotta get here, man. This is a comic book heaven, man.
It looks
Heaven
like
on earth. Literally. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
See, look, random, bam, Master Kung Fu, $1.
sweet.
I got you some books too, D-Man. I got you some books too,
That crow was really nice.
because I know you like redheads. This is the rest of the crew. X and
Oh,
Larry.
X.
Nice.
Coming home roundtable discussion in the house, and they just going, look at all this stuff, y'all. This is Larry. All this is Larry stuff.
All this love in there.
Heck yeah.
More stuff. That's Derek Thomas, aka DT.
What up, DT?
So you see his box. We are literally buying groceries in comic book form, ladies and gentlemen. Pepe Le Pew.
No way.
Anything with a P on it, it's gonna cost money now.
Everything you see has the ability to be $1 if you buy 50. And like I said, this is just
Early Pokemon.
No way.
all this stuff. Oh,
Wow.
oh my God! Hold up.
Nice.
This is the key.
Missed it.
Hey, Dollar Bin.
That bad boy.
This was not fabricated. This was actually done in real time, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me. This place is awesome. And like I said, this is. Oh, somebody just dropped some books. Yeah. Somebody got some scuffed up books. But yeah, y'all, this place is legitimate. And like I said,
That's
the
not
other
even
store.
Dave's yet, man.
Well, see, the comic Dave stores are next door. That's why all the heavy hitters and stuff is. This is just the dollar bin stuff.
Oh, that's straight fire in there.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
man.
Y'all. How's everyone today?
Awesome.
Doing great, man.
Awesome.
Hey,
Great.
hey, I always love when somebody comes by from a comic shop, man, and they just showing us all the books that they grabbing up.
Beautiful thing, man. I mean, the only thing I can think of that's greater than this is going to Six Flags if I was like 10 years old. But I'm far from 10 years old, and Six Flags is across town from here. So
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, Jeff, you want to show what you got?
Yeah, I just got this back, the Vampy 3 back finally.
Oh,
Yep.
you got a 7-0.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Pressed, cleaned, and it was a So if it wasn't for pressing and cleaning it, I don't think it would have came back a 7-0.
Right. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? You did the right thing then. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And it's a low print book, so yeah, I did the right thing. That, and then I picked this up last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, nice.
9/2, issue 49, first appearance of Blood Red Queen. So one of her major villains. So
If I was listening, Nathan Elliott wants to know where y'all at.
We are at Dave's Comic in Fayetteville, Georgia.
There you go.
yep, that's where we're going now. If me and Sean and Steve end up going to Georgia.
Hey man, that'll be the first place that we take you because we can't take y'all to the comic book stores where we live. Man.
Hey, I was talking with Brian off air about the shops that we talked about before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a fight.
We have 3 comic book stores. We live in Macon, Georgia. All of us except for John. We live in Macon, Georgia. We have 3 comic book stores in Macon, and you see we actually travel an hour and 20 minutes from a city that has 3 comic book stores. Uno, dos, tres. Just to shop for comics. So that should tell you something.
Yep.
Yep.
Too many bad stories with them shops.
Yep.
Too many.
Oh yeah.
If you want to hear some of the stories, just tune into the Comic Hall and Roundtable
That's
discussion.
right.
And go back about a month or two, and you will have some good.
I want to see all of Al's honey holes for sure.
Hey,
Already got
there you go.
that.
Look,
Nice.
Already got that.
Me too.
but the thing of it is, though, it's $1.
Yeah. That's
Most of those Harris comics are $1.
Yeah.
So I can find a lot of them in the dollar bins.
If you can find Adam Hughes one, yeah, those are worth more than $1.
So I wanted to ask like G-Man, Jeff, even Al, we got Brian on and we got Lasso on. If there's any questions y'all want to ask them, because
first I want to say, Brian, I love the Star Trek posters behind you. Oh my God, you're killing me with that.
Thank you. I wish you could see this whole room. It is all Star Trek.
That is awesome.
Yeah, just pull them up like this.
There's a video on the channel called My Star Trek Office, G-Man. If you want to pull up my YouTube channel, it's called My Star Trek Office. It's set to all the Trek music and runs you. Everything is mostly up in here, so you'll be able to see everything if you watch that video.
Yeah, his links is in the description. So
thank you, buddy. I definitely will. Hold on, I'm looking right now.
Yeah, I subscribed to him last time we met.
I was showing those 8 teams.
It's like somebody gave Mr. T a glass of milk there.
I pitied that fool that don't buy those 18s.
I was there to slip Mr. T and Mickey to get him on a plane.
So let's get back into Magic Lasso's love. Some Wonder Woman goodness. This one I got signed by Yannick Packard, who did the cover to this.
Like that.
Yeah. Wow, that's great.
I love this cover, and this one is special because I met Greg Rucka, and I did a personalized signature for this.
I really enjoy his writing on Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I got like his whole run. I got the deluxe editions of it, and I have his original one in trade. Yeah.
Wow, I like that. Oh, I like that. That one's nice.
Is that I liked the present stories, but I liked the past ones more because it got.
I did too. I did too.
The Nicola Scott artwork was beautiful, and I liked the story a bit more.
Yep.
Well, we got Man Cave in the chat. What's going on?
Man Cave, what's up?
So I've got a Wonder Woman that arrived yesterday, and I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but let me forewarn you that this book comes with heartbreak.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You don't want
So
heartbreak.
let's ooh and ah on it first before we talk about the heartbreak. Have you guys seen this?
Oh yeah.
That
Jenny
is
Frison.
the Jenny Frison variant cover for Ace Breaks exclusive, but the story inside is the George Perez Wonder Woman Volume 2, issue number 9, the first appearance of the cheetah.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
with an
what's
exclusive Jenny Frison cover. And
Okay.
they're hard numbered on the back. And when I show them here, it looks beautiful. But when they ship these books, which came directly from Ace, they put them in a medium-sized mailer with nothing around them.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
No.
There are
That's not
spine
how you do
ticks
it.
and
That's
color
bad.
breaking spine ticks galore on both of these books.
That stinks.
Yeah. So I'm
God.
waiting to hear back from them. Obviously, I'll contact customer service and waiting to hear back. But so sad.
They'll either tell you to send them back or either keep them, and then they'll send you new ones. That's
Well,
how they
I'm
normally do it.
I'm going to need new ones. So,
Yeah.
but I was so excited. I've been waiting so long for this, and it arrived yesterday. And as soon as I saw it was sent just in a mailer, I knew that we had potential problems right there. And then I opened it up, and there was no padding around the books at all. And I'm thinking to
Yeah,
myself,
that
how does a company that ships collectibles for a living not know how to do this? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the worst.
that's not right. That's not right at all.
And randomly within my reach, just because it's within my reach, you don't see this one shown very much either. But this is the 1970s Wonder Woman Spectacular.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I love that clenched teeth
I
kind
was
of
about to say.
That is a great cover. I love the Bronze Age covers, man. Like,
Yeah.
Me too.
like Silver and Bronze Age, and even some Copper Age. They tell a story on the cover alone. You know, it makes you want to pick up the book to read them because the cover tells that story. Whereas most modern books, it's just nice looking covers, great artwork, but they don't tell the story. Like most of the time, you see the cover, it don't happen inside the book.
Right.
Right, that's an excellent point, Sean, because a lot of that stuff that Lasso and I have both been talking about, everything that's on that cover is reflective of the quality of the art inside those books. Nowadays, because of all these rampant variants, you know what I mean, which have a place, don't get me wrong, but it's not reflective of what's going on inside the book.
Yeah, something like this, I see this, and I'm like, oh my God. I mean, first of all, she must be some sort of a contortionist on the cover, but this happens in the book. You do have the JSA in the background. You have Steve Trevor being stolen away by the villain. You have Wonder Woman encased. I mean, there was no, this isn't fake news. This is happening in the book. So.
Yeah, just like this cover.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You got the Etrigan the Demon. This guy getting a nice dance with Wonder Woman. It's a fun cover, man. It's a fun cover.
They brought the Demon back in Volume 2 as well, and he did a story arc in the John Byrne era in the early 100s. So that's one thing I've noticed about Wonder Woman. Things that have happened in Volume 1, they would bring back in Volume 2. Like in Volume 1 in the 290s, we had a 3-issue story arc that involved all of the DC superheroines teaming together to stop this villain. And they essentially homaged that in Volume 2 in the Phil Jimenez run and did another story with all three, like a multi-issue story arc with all of the DC ladies coming together to fight Cersei in that case.
Trying to see if I have that. I know I was about to show this.
Okay, since you got some Wonder Woman, Magic Lasso's kind of like this then because I just picked this one up.
That is the fantastic issue. That's a 2-part issue where
I need the second part.
Antiope, who we know Antiope now from the movies and stuff. You know, that's Hippolyta's sister. But Antiope wasn't talked about a whole lot in the Bronze Age. And that is Antiope, and she has become the Silver Snake. And that's a fantastic 2-issue story arc.
Like, we are joined by
everybody was dead.
Oh no!
And only like half.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you with something else playing.
Hold on 1 second.
What up, Remo?
And then I was going to bring this one up. I have the Perez. This is the hardcover. And I brought this because it came with the DVD of the movie, the first animated movie.
Very nice.
One thing about Perez and a lot of writing from the old Bronze, Silver, and even Copper Age is lots of dialogue, lots of reading. You know, you're not going to get no decompressed stories, you know, where it's just images and panels, but no dialogue. You're going to get a lot of dialogue in the older. And it can be hit or miss with people who are used to more modern reading because they're not used to that much dialogue. But sometimes you get a lot of story within one issue. You know, and you know they don't have to drag a story out for like 6-7 parts when they can do it all in like 2-3 issues. Had to meet you, Remo.
Yeah, I had a little bit of background noise.
How's it going, man?
It's going, man. You know, trying to sneak on right quick because I promised my daughter that she could have a computer for a while. So I was like,
so Ryan,
I told her she could play a couple games. So she's been good about holding true to what I told her that she couldn't do. So I was like, let me reward her today. So. How's everybody else doing?
Better supervisor.
Well, I had to ban her from YouTube, so I kind of feel bad, but I was like, man, I can't. I'm trying to police it, and there's not.
You're being a dad.
There's not enough filters for me to get rid of everything, you know. So it's like, man, you can't be on there no more. So I was like, you can only be able to play video games, but we're gonna have to until I get you your own computer. I mean, you're gonna have to share it with me for a slight bit.
Nice. G-Man, you was gonna say something?
Yeah, talking about Star Trek, and I noticed the Star Trek line as well. My queen just yesterday. See, I chauffeur her around town to do her all of her errands. It's the errands. I don't have to go in the stores. Just go ahead. Spend my money and whatever. She goes in the Hobby Lobby, right? And she comes out and she goes, "Well, baby, you've been waiting around all day long, waiting for me. I had to get you something." I'm like, just, you know, as long as it's within reason, I'm all right with it. She got me this. So I have this on my desk right now. It's
sweet.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, I thought it was cool, but she was thinking of me, and I thought that was very sweet. Very, very cool. And talking about Wonder Woman, I just picked this up. I know you guys will like this. This is by George Perez, 9-2.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
That's ugly. Wow.
Yeah. Picked up that. And I just recently picked up a Batman and a Golden Age. Got a good deal on it. I'm going to tell you about this Golden Age in a minute. Batman, P5. And then we have this one. This is from cover of Milton Kaffa. It's a story. These are some of the Second World War IIs, and it's from the Pirate Creators. I actually have a couple of the older ones put away, and the death controls. But anyway, this is on the CGC census, there's like 196. I'm probably the only one with the 4. There's not very many. There's like 17 total of these on record that are graded. But I got this, which is pretty awesome. This is from 1948.
Oh, Steve Canyon. Speaking of Steve, What's going on?
I can't miss this, man. Not with Al showing up.
What up,
Ryan in the house. Magic. I can't miss this shit. I said, man,
I can't take it no more.
I can't take it, man. Al's getting all kind of books, and he's over there getting more. Damn.
Hey Steve, did you see my Golden Age Captain Marvel that I posted?
You know I seen that shit immediately. Yeah. I want to see it again. I'll see it again.
Yeah, man, we've been hunting for comic books all day, man.
So you guys been going for about what, 3-4 hours already?
About 2 hours. We got some for you, Remo. So we got
I'd be there all day long.
I
go from one box to the next.
Oh man.
Well, if he wants us to go to Georgia, he better save some of those books. They're going to dig through everything.
Sean, hey, Sean, we got to get up there, man.
Trust me, we haven't touched the surface, and like I said, we're just in the second building part. There's a whole nother place. Man. If we're still online when we go over there, I'm gonna do a tour of the place. I mean, it is.
Hey, Sean, I'm about to get out of here. I'm on my way to your house. Let's go.
Oh man. Remo, you want to show something?
No, I was G-Man still was going.
Oh, we're good. I'm good.
Okay.
You all right, buddy?
No, I was just gonna say a friend of mine was he was record shopping at a thrift store the other day, and he texted me and he was like, you know, this thrift store has a whole bunch of comics, and he was like, you should go over there and check them out. And I'm like, and he sent me the picture, you know, those pictures on Instagram, and then they disappear after a few minutes. So he sent me the picture, and then I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, man, I got to get over there. There was a book right on the front of it, like right on the top. It was like, a couple slots with books all in it, and there was a bunch of books in there, but the one on the top, I was like, it caught my eye. I was like, and it said, like, on the top, it was like, all books are $1, and then 10 of them are for like $6 or $7. But I grabbed a whole bunch of stuff, but I got for 99 cents.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
And it's in, man, it's got to be a near mint copy, man. Nice. I think she's supposed to show up on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, maybe. They're saying it might be the girl that he went on a date with at the bar. So, but, you know, it's supposed to be we'll see, man.
I've never.
But I was looking; it's like a $30 book, man, for 99 cents.
I never seen so much.
Hey, Remo, that might be Mephisto, man.
Yeah. Hey, it is Mephisto, man.
I don't know if it's good or bad that there wasn't a Mephisto reveal in WandaVision. You know what I mean? Like, if it was, it probably would have broke the internet. I mean, there was so much hype and so much build-up. Could we withstand that? Like, if that
I just
really
honestly
happened?
hope he doesn't show up in anything.
Well, yeah, the ship has sailed. They can't retcon this or whatever.
Don't bring him up
if they were going to do it, that was the time to do it. The ship is sailed. It's done.
Yeah, please don't introduce him in anything.
Well, my problem was when there was so much hype about Mephisto being in there. When we find out it's Agatha all along, I thought, oh yeah, but you know she's not the big villain, and so it didn't have that punch that it should have. Although it had a fantastic theme song.
Yeah, which trended like after that. I'm like, that took on a life of its own.
Yeah. Oh no!
It's happening! It's happening!
Okay, I guess it's time I gotta go, you guys.
It's happening. Soon as we let the whole know, man, we knew it was coming, man.
I held out as long as I could, man. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys soon, man. It was good seeing everybody.
All right.
Later, man.
Peace out, man.
That's like when people are waiting for San Diego Comic-Con tickets to go on sale. Oh no, it's happening! It's happening!
Has anyone been through that process since Lasso brought that up? Has anyone ever been to San Diego Comic-Con?
I have not.
Nope.
Okay, I've been once. My wife and I were actually married. We went to Comic-Con in the afternoon and then got married that evening at a naval chapel. And that was in 2011. And the process we went through, like if you've seen Big Bang Theory where they're all banging away on their laptops, that's what we had to go through to get those tickets to go like 3 months ahead of even like booking the flight. It was crazy. So, but I guess I'm going through a similar thing trying to get the COVID-19 vaccine. So it's the same thing signing into these pages. It's nuts.
Yeah, San Diego's like a process to get to, man. Like, you want to go to San Diego, it's fine. You got to sign up to this, you got to sign up to that, and you got to hope that you get in.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, I want to buy the tickets and go straight in. But I don't.
And you are like sardines in that place. I mean, and that was, we're talking 10 years ago I went. So I can only imagine what it is and what it will be. They canceled again this year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so even if it comes back in 2022, that build up and that hype is going to be so, crazy, and everyone's going to be so hungry
man,
for that
there's
event.
going to be no waiting, no movement in there, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we were like Pink Floyd The Wall. Like we're just like just walking around in there, just jammed in there. And it's like, wait, but I want to get left to look at this. Like, nope, I guess I got to go all the way around. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, what would get to me is like, say they had Gal Gadot and a Wonder Woman movie themed panel one day. What if that's the day I couldn't get tickets for? That would break my heart knowing that I'm there, but can't go the day that I really want to be there.
Yeah. And people were sleeping out. Like we only went one day. We went on the Sunday. It's the only time we could get a ticket, to go. And there were people, because we spent the weekend in San Diego, but only going to Comic-Con one day. And on Friday, people are sleeping outside to get into Hall H for Saturday.
Wow.
So that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like compared, what it was like for San Diego then compared to like what's been the last couple of years?
Well, I mean, I think it's only grown. And the only real, I guess, example, because I've been going to cons here in Florida since I moved here in '95. And I can remember going to MegaCon when I'm like one of maybe 500 people there. And then the last time, my wife will go every once in a while with me. And I think she went with me in 2016, 2017. And there was something like 55,000 people expected that weekend. I'm like 55,000 versus 500 back in 1999. I mean, it's just insane how much this industry and this hype has grown. And it's all about, the pomp and circumstance now, all the costumes and the cosplay and events and autographs. I mean, it's evolved so far beyond comics, which is great. And that's why I like these little shows. Like we're going to Olo tomorrow, and Daytona Beach Comic Con is fantastic. It's not built around any one set of movie stars or comic creators that elevate the price of these tickets.
It's all about books, huh?
Yeah, right. Yes, it's all about books. And sometimes that's what you want. You want it to be just all about books. But whenever I do go to MegaCon or even TampaCon, it's usually to meet somebody. It's not to shop for books. It's because I'm going there to get my photo taken to somebody.
The funny thing about that is when I used to go to the cons, I used to either go by myself or with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
But lately, like ever since I met these guys at MegaCon like 2 years ago, like Steve and Jeff, now I'm more interested in going to the cons to meet community members and just hang out with them all day.
Hey
and
man,
cons.
I want your brother at the next one, Sean. I want to beat his ass. And I've
Well-
got 30 shows with him.
Well, y'all been killing it on the sports show on the Johnson show.
Yeah, boy, that goes off the rails crazy, man.
But the thing is, I want to bring him down to Tampa.
Yeah,
and I'm
that'd be
hoping
awesome.
we could do that sometime next month. I know you said that Javi is.
Yeah, they're talking about the 17th is when they're talking about coming for 2 or 3 days. They're going to stay with me. Javi maybe, but Hialeah probably for sure. So if anybody can get, to Ocala, because that's where Brick City is, you could come here and just ride with us if you wanted, Puff, and we hang out all day one day.
Cool, I'm down for that.
Yeah, we're down for that. And anybody's welcome that wants to go, man.
I'm down for that because I do want to hit up the Tampa shops again. I was telling Bronze Age, if I come down back Tampa, we definitely hitting up Urban Legends. Like I said last time,
gotta get that up. Yeah, man.
Last time I was like,
him pretty good. I might could get us in like early or something before everybody. I know him pretty damn good.
It'd be an all day at fair, right?
I was buying comics from him when he was doing it from his house.
Oh yeah, I
He had a
remember
little
that.
place in the back, and you park on the street, and you'd walk back. And he did. I want to say he did weddings for. That's how he made his money. And he had this nice, huge backyard with all kind of ornaments everywhere. And then he ended up putting his comics in a little shed. People started saying he's selling comic books, and got him. He had to go get him a legitimate spot after that.
Al.
Yes.
Are you ready? I am. I got HBO Max just because Godzilla and Kong's coming out. Is that tomorrow or today?
Tuesday.
No, that's
the
next week.
31st.
Or Wednesday.
I can't wait.
31st.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Hey, that's the only movie my brother will buy me tickets to go. He says no one else wants to go. He will buy me
Look
tickets.
at Al.
Anything I want
He's
to go
excited
watch
too. Me and him, big fans too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I
I'm
love
looking forward to the movie, man.
Oh, me too.
I don't even care who wins, even if they team
Yeah.
up. So
Me too.
I just
Me
want
too.
monsters beat
I
the fuck
care.
out of each other.
Together.
I care.
Hey, I don't care, man, because Godzilla and Kong, you can't, I ain't passing that up.
Nope. Nice.
Killer.
Look at that. Mephisto right on the front
Mephisto.
cover.
It's confirmed Mephisto's gonna show up in the next Thor movie.
Yeah, them Mephisto, that number 3, the orange cover when that thing went through the freaking
He's
roof,
coming,
man.
boys. He's coming.
Can't get one of those.
He's coming.
Yeah, but the funny thing about it is that whole WandaVision show was like each week was like new books getting speculated on.
You know what? That was so fun to watch. Oh,
Yeah, it was speculation crazy. Now it's on what is it, Omega Red? Is he gonna pop up in this Winter Soldier? This I'm like, dude,
I hope not.
man.
I hope not.
Ybor City Dave said absolutely not. He says 100% he's not coming. They said they will not let him do
What's
the
the
first.
most? What's the most you guys would spend right now on an X-Men 4 with the first Omega Red?
Man,
I had 3 copies.
What's
of
that
it. I
for?
don't even know.
For a buck in the 90s, man.
hey Lasso, that was before I met you. Man, I must have sent everybody probably in the vicinity of 100 miles here a copy of that damn thing. I got
Did
so
you
many
really?
cheap, man. But I got 4 graded, and I got 1 on eBay right now. Is at 200 and something with a day left or 2.
Wow.
And I got another 9.8. Just I'm gonna hold on and see what happens, but they're crazy, man. People are crazy for that shit. I don't know. They can have mine if they want them.
That's the only
You know,
run
not
books I
attached.
kept. That 1 through 12 that he penciled of that X-Men run from the 90s.
Right.
I kept those 12. That's it. Everything else, like,
Hey, Sean, the guy at the flea market, he had packs of X-Men 4 and 5. I mean, packs of them, right? And then the flea market sold the property to an apartment complex. So I go back and say, man, I got to get those X-Men 4s and 5s before he get, because they were wrapped at 10. He had bundles of 10 just in cellophane. They were cellophane wrapped. He said that's how they came, but he had stored them away for me to come get. So I go back. He goes, man, sorry, I sold all my comic books. I said, even the ones I had hidden under the bottom. He said, they're all gone. I said, oh,
Damn.
man. I went down to my knees. No. And it was like 30 copies that were mint. Gone.
Damn.
Damn it. That sucked. I waited too long.
And you know that's another thing about comic books is like when you see something that's a good price but you don't buy it at that point,
Right.
Mhm.
and then when you think you got time, you can go back and get it, and the next thing you know it's gone. It's like, damn, I should have brought it when they had it on the show.
That's the worst thing right in your hand.
And the funny thing is, I could have got the first Apocalypse many times. Like my shop had that on the wall, and this was after the movie. Like the movie done tanked that book, so I could have gotten it for dirt cheap because they had it for like $50, and I know my shop would give me a discount on it because I'm a loyal customer. But I kept passing it. Then when I said, all right, I'm gonna go finally get it because it's been there forever, I go there and it's no longer there. I'm like,
Yeah, that happens.
passing on books is a heavy feeling. Like when you see something and you let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you stuff from, like I said, when I collected books in the 80s and whatever, and our first LCS opened I think in 88, 89, and I can remember he had on the wall, which I know is a little bit of an overstatement, but the classic Hulk 181.
Yeah.
But I can remember that being on the wall for $100.
Yep.
And thinking, my gosh, can I use all my lawn mowing money to give this guy $100 for this book?
Yep.
I thought that's
And
crazy.
the answer now, Dave.
Now and you see it for thousands of dollars. I'm like $100.
Hell yes.
Hey, Brian. Steve and Al had a thing about, man, we should go back in time.
Man, we're going back in time, and all that shit we saw and passed up, we're gonna get.
Yeah. When I was
who was that flexing in the back? Was that who I think it is?
That's Matt.
Matt back there, ready to come on and cause some trouble.
When I was a little kid, when I would get to go to a comic book store, which was an hour away, they behind the counter would have all their long boxes on. It looked like a specially built shelf, but they would take like one comic and tack it by the bag and hang down in front of. So that would be like the X-Men bag, and it would be like X-Men 135 would be the book that have in front of the box. So they knew that if someone needed an X-Men book, the X-Men were behind that, and so on and so forth. They had down there, and I remember as a kid, ASM 129, and it was $10.
Dang.
And back then I'm like, I'm not gonna spend $10 on one book.
$10.
Look at how many
People
books I
don't
could get.
realize $10 was a lot of freaking money back in the day.
It was back
then.
Back in the day, I used to get $10 for allowance. When I was younger, before I got to 20.
Now it's a coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Coffee. Can you believe that? A coffee? Yeah.
Yeah, shoot. You could buy a couple books for some of them Starbucks coffees they got out.
Yep.
Hey, I know you heard Funk tell you the story, Puff, about his 129 he got at the flea market about 3 months ago.
No, I didn't.
Did you hear that? He went to a flea market and he gets a 129 for $4. $4. All the book. The guy would charge him $4 for a bunch of books, and so he gets it. He sends it to me. I get it pressed and cleaned by Lenny.
Mm-hmm.
Sends it out, and it's funny, man. We're talking about this today. It comes back a 4.5. So he finds a 4.5 out in the wild at a flea market, sends it here, graded clean, and I'm sending it back to him today, so it's on its way back to Pennsylvania. But he is ecstatic, man. It's like a $1,100 book now he found for $4. So it can happen.
Yeah, it can.
You just got certain.
You get the right person walking in with a long box and going, "Oh, it ain't a number one. I don't care. Those are the only ones worth any." That's what people think a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
Look at
just
Al,
like
he can't even do nothing. His hands are probably gonna break after this. Al's gonna come on the next show with his hands bandaged up.
I'm trying to count all my. They keep handing me comic books, man. I got that one. Yeah, I'm about to get ready to check out now, man. I think I'm tapped out. So, yeah.
You're not tapped out. You gotta go to the other side, man.
No.
Is done.
Daylight, you can't quit.
Y'all can see this. Y'all can see all this shit around here, man.
Hey, Matt, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hey,
what's
Matt.
up, Steve?
Hey, I looked up Kyle Lewis. I didn't know you were talking about the Kyle Lewis that you were, but I was like, oh, I know him. That's stuff about him. Man, his cards are worth a ton of money, man.
I told you, man.
I got one I'm watching to try to get cheap. Let's see if I can get it.
All right. Make sure I get Steve.
See, this is what I want to do, Steve. Like, if when I come back down there and I bring my brother, I just want to hit up all the shops around y'all area. Like, we ain't hit up Yancey Street.
All those are nice shops too, man. And they added on to Yancey.
Yeah, they added on. Yeah.
Yeah,
more dollar bins.
Added on. It's incredible.
Yeah.
See, I gotta go there, man.
Yeah, man. Because Byron, where are you actually? Are you in Orlando?
No, I'm in Bradenton.
You're in Bradenton. So damn, man. Shoot,
He
you're
ain't
right
far
by
from us.
CGC. There's a CGC man right there.
Yeah.
Does that?
Speaking of passing up things, I got a job offer from them that I sadly had to pass up because it was a little bit of a pay cut from teaching. But I applied thinking like, they'll never call me. But then they did, and I went, and I had a very great interview, and they had me grade some sample books and whatnot, and they called me back and made me an offer, and I thought, well, no, I'm going to have to pass because, I've been teaching 25 years, so I've only got 5 years left.
So you're tenured in?
Yeah, so I'm tenured, so I passed. And then about 3 months later, they called and made me another offer and upped the salary. And I thought, man, are they telling me that I need to quit teaching and go here? But it still wasn't.
It's always left. Holding out. Maybe it'll keep going up.
Yeah. So I told them once the cons get back in, I'd be willing to do some pro bono stuff for them. Maybe be a mouthpiece for them at conventions, get people over to the booth, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Be cool.
Maybe like that. You must have graded that sample book real good for them to make you another offer.
Yeah. They brought me in for, obviously the Bronze Age stuff. They were a little impressed. I knew about some of the newsstand stuff and obviously the variant stuff with Whitman's and all these different, I guess they needed somebody with that little eyeball skill set, which I have because that's what I collect.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Imagine the books you get to see. Oh my God, man!
And the people that have been through that door, I don't know if you guys follow them on Instagram. They're doing those private signings right now, where usually they bring in a small crowd of people to meet and greet, but with COVID, they're not doing that. But the people have been through that door, it's just like they walk through. And it's like, oh, I could have been there. My gosh, Roy Thomas was just there. Jeff Johns was just there.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Hey, Steve, Remo saying your book is at 300 now.
Is it? Damn, it must have went up. How do you know that's my book, Remo? You
want to look.
You must know my call. You must know my secret call sign now. Hey, Sean, the book I gave you, The Spawn, when I first met you, did you get that signed?
Capullo, yeah.
I sold mine for $630.
Raw copy?
No, mine I got graded, but yours might be a 9.8. Yours looked a little better than mine. Mine was a 9.6.
$1.
$1. I'll take that for $1. God dang.
Nice.
Century. You don't need it?
Oh, shit.
You get it. Oh, damn.
Hey, man, y'all could have a hell of a sale and make y'all a ton of money, man.
Yeah. Big time. My goodness.
Dang.
Wow.
He said the seller's name is Steve.
You could be right. You could be right. I don't know if it's up to that high. Last I looked, it was at 2.
Yep. Man,
those Spawn books are up high as heck, Puff. You need to get it graded, boy. I'm telling you. Or get it signed again and graded.
Yeah, because CGC don't do that with
you have to go CBCS, but still, man, those slabs are good, and they grade maybe a little harder than CGC. So
it's funny, like, I'm not the biggest Spawn fan. I have a few Spawn issues, and I even got I still need to get that first appearance of Angela slab, because I brought that for like $10. So I want to get a Preston slab. But I will definitely get a slab and put it on the market.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, hey, you usually don't sell your AOKs, but you got the green light. Sell that shit and get a Black Panther book if you want.
Yeah.
That damn sure worth a lot right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous now.
Ridiculous, man. Spawn. I like Spawn all right, but I don't love him.
Yeah, me neither. I like Spawn, and I'm not the biggest McFarlane guy. Like, I like him, but, his style can vary for me.
Hey, you remember when I told you guys I accidentally pocket bought a book for $1,000.99? I mean, almost $1,100. It was a Marvel Spotlight 5 Ghost Rider's first appearance.
Yep.
Well, I was looking at it. I was going to make an offer, but when I put my phone in my pocket, I hit buy it now. So I get back on my phone and I tell my wife, I said, I got a problem. I said, I just bought a book for $1,100. She said, no, you didn't. I said, yeah, I did. She goes, you tell them that one of those kids got on your phone. You tell whatever. I said, no, I got to get it. I had enough money to almost cover it all. Maybe not the change, but so I got it. That book is up to $4,000 now. So I accidentally have bought a great book. Thank you, Pocket. You did a damn
Put a
good
smile on the wifey's face.
Yeah, man. I just wonder what is the ceiling on all these books going up, man? What is it? Does anyone have an idea, or is it going to bomb out, or is it because
I don't think so.
What I heard is the card people are coming into the comic book space now, and they're used to getting what PSA 10s, which is the best the card can get. So they're used to that, and they think comic books kind of run the same way, but they don't understand. They don't. There's not as many. There's millions of card brands. I mean, there's Score, there's Fleer, there's Upper Deck, there's Panini, and you can get a rookie card from a guy for all those. But in a comic book, man, it's just one comic and maybe a variant now at the least, and it's one, so it's never going to be the same. So they're buying them up. I think it's really raising the market.
When people start diverting their money back to sporting event tickets and concert tickets and going out to eat, then our books.
That's when things are going to, because right now they can't do nothing. So all their focus in what about all the stimulus money? Everyone probably stuck it all in comics, cards, or whatever they wanted.
Yeah, they don't have any idea.
But when Steve was talking about his pocket purchase, this wasn't so much a pocket purchase for me, but this was a mistake purchase that I had made. And what happened was, this book was on eBay.
Damn,
and
that's a big book. What's special? Is there something special about that one? Or
yeah, there's two things that are special about this one. This is the last Golden Age size book of Wonder Woman.
Oh,
but this is also mentioned in the Seduction of the Innocent book. This issue specifically is mentioned in that Seduction of the Innocents book. But this book was on eBay, and it was ending with about 30 minutes to go, and it was at $43 or $44. And I thought, wow, it's a steal. So I went over to the supermarket, and I had enough time to go to the supermarket and pick up some things. And at the supermarket, when you check out, when you put your debit card in, you don't put a period in. You just put if you're paying $10, you put 1000. Right. Now this plays into my story because when I came back and I'm getting ready to put my last minute sniping bid in,
you bid 40.
I don't know where my mind was, but I put for my maximum bid $4,800. And then all of a sudden, you know how everything jumps up in the last couple seconds?
The last 10 seconds is where all the snipers are in.
In the last 3 seconds, next thing you know, I have a $260-some book that I was only planning on putting $48 as my max bid. But this really is, in price wise, I didn't get ripped off on it because that's about what it sells for in this grade, and I'm pretty happy with it. So Wonder Woman 49.
Beautiful.
Still an awesome book. Maybe it was meant to be. Maybe that's how it had to be.
The story's worth. The story's worth at least.
Story's worth it. I pocket about one.
While you got me big, here's the Titanic team up you never thought you would see: Wonder Woman and the new Teen Titans.
Damn.
Nice.
And this was the final issue of the Wonder Woman title where she wore the eagle logo on her top.
Yep, correct. I got that one.
Yep. Good story too.
Say, Magic, are you by Rob? You're by Rob, right?
Yeah, we're not that far away.
Not too far away.
Y'all haven't met up yet?
Not yet, but we're going to this summer when it gets nice. We definitely.
Yeah, after I get me the Fauci ouchie, I'm definitely open to doing that.
Here's another Wonder Woman. Let me here.
Oh yeah.
When I read, I always loved these type of covers,
Mm-hmm.
Then of course.
Oh yeah. Black Canary. Right.
Yep. Then you got some 90s Brian Boland.
Mm-hmm. You know, around that time, the Brian Boland period that you're showing right now, that's when they stopped carrying Wonder Woman on the spinner racks at the supermarkets.
I don't have the iconic or the cover where she's been Jokerized, or the one where she got a gun pointed to her head.
I can pull both of those for you.
The other good cover, Sean, is the Blackest Night variant with Wonder Woman. I got that in the stash.
Nice. I always loved it. Oh, nice. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
And you know the funny thing
that.
is,
I like that one.
I could still get that one for cheap, but the one with the guns on her head, that's pretty up there in price now.
Is it?
Yeah. I know I could probably find it for cheap, but it's like I'm not seeing it.
I'll tell you one thing. Wonder Woman 100. This I see everywhere. This cover I see everywhere. The foil. But the regular A cover you never see.
Wow.
That 100 foil cover Lasso was pretty prominent during that era through all the titles because that's the issue right before the death of Green Arrow. You know, the big fake out. You think it's coming in issue 100, but then it's actually in issue 101.
I like that. Here's a really crazy story where someone believed that Etta Candy was really Wonder Woman. They deduced her identity and thought it was Etta Candy, and you have Wonder Woman's rogues going after Etta Candy in one issue. That was kind of a cool story.
This was one of my earlier Wonder Woman books that I purchased when I was younger.
Oh yeah,
nice. I like that.
It's in beat up condition. Like the book is not connected to the cover because I wore it out reading it, which is what you're supposed to do when you're younger. You know, you're supposed to read your comics.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's a legal chokehold anyway, Sean.
Here we go.
What about that for a cover?
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's really nice.
Magic, who's your favorite Wonder Woman?
Jose Delbo, for an artist.
Who's your
And he's the
favorite?
guy that just-
No, who's your favorite Wonder Woman actress?
Oh,
Linda Carter.
Yeah,
Linda
it would
Carter.
probably have to be
Linda
Linda
Carter's
Carter.
mine because I grew up with her. But
it's not Adriana Palicki.
Still good. She's beautiful. Holy crap, man.
She is. And I love Gal's accent. And if you think about it, Wonder Woman would have an accent.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
She's the Mascarian.
You know, when I'm eating my Tina's burritos, so. But
Nice.
funny, I thought her name was Diana, not Tina. But you know, I had the chance to meet Linda Carter, and she wasn't like what I thought she would be. She was better.
Wow, really? That's always awesome, right? Better than what you expected.
That's always good.
She was trying to decide. A lot of people don't know that she was a singer before she was an actress, a beauty queen winner and an actress. She was a singer, and she was trying to decide if she was going to go back into singing or not. So she did a whole a test run of shows in like 3 different cities, and one of them was in Chicago. She spent a week in Chicago at this little small theater, and when tickets went on sale, I called up and I said, "What night can I get the closest to the stage?" And the woman looked through and she said, if you go on Saturday night, I can put you front row table. And I said, I need a table for Saturday night then. And when I got there, when I say
that'd be the hardest to get, right?
Yeah. That's what I thought like a Wednesday or something, you know?
Yeah.
But when I went there, front row table meant literally from my seat, I could touch the stage with my foot. So the show starts prominently at 9 o'clock. Or 8 o'clock, I'm sorry. The show starts prominently at 8 o'clock, no opening act. She enters singing off stage and enters from the back and works her way up through the audience. And as soon as I saw her with my eye, as soon as I saw her, like my eyes probably were like the cartoon, yep. And I'm like, oh, sorry, that's Wonder Woman. Yeah. That is really Wonder Woman. And went through the show, and when I got a chance to meet her afterwards, she said, I was starting to tell her how much of a fan I was, and I kind of went through my little spiel, and she says to me, really, I'm the one who needs to be thanking you. She said, you got all dressed up tonight. You sat in the front row and smiled at me during my entire show and made me feel so fantastic when I was up there singing. She said, I'm the one who has to thank you for being here.
Damn.
I was like,
that's when you go, is this real? Is this real?
Is this real life?
I thought you hold your chest like you was Sanford about ready to have a heart attack.
Yeah, the big one happened. The big one.
I'm coming. This is the big one.
That is so awesome, man.
And then that reminds me of Sheldon. When Mark Hamill is officiating his wedding, he's like, "When we're done, I have 4,000 things for you to sign."
That is awesome, man. The original Wonder Woman, Linda Carter.
Man,
very nice.
That reminds me, I went to a concert and did the same thing you did last. So I said, man, I want to be as close to the stage because it was Stevie Nicks.
Oh yeah,
and I love Stevie Nicks, so I was like, I want to be close as I can. So me and my wife looked through all the tickets, and man, I think we were like 8 rows from her, man. I mean, she was right there. I was like, this is the greatest night of my life, man. Yep. If she comes down and falls into this crowd, I'm going to die and save her. But man, I was like you. I was like the whole time, just, man, she sings just as good live too as recorded. So that's always a plus.
Big time.
Yeah.
Hey, but I want to tell you, I got to tell you something. This is deviating a little bit from the comic book topic. And I'm not trying to brag here, guys, but I've just got to say this, okay? You have never met a celebrity or gone through anything until you have met Dolly Parton. And I've met Dolly Parton a couple of times. First of all, every person gets treated the same.
Yep.
I think the president would get treated the same that I would get treated. There's no special treatment. But when you're up talking to her, I mean, yes, her breasts are just enormous.
That's a given.
her face is so tiny and the hair is so big. But really, what stands out the most are how tiny not only her waist is, but her legs. Her legs look like they could snap at any second.
Damn, she's that skinny down below, huh?
She actually looks like, and I don't mean this with any negativity, but she looks like a cartoon come to life.
Man.
But she was nice every time. She was nice and funny and.
Wow.
So Linda Carter was no problem after you met Dolly. Linda Carter is no problem.
I'm sorry, you're in line. I apologize.
Go ahead.
Whenever Al's ready, man, he can give us the tour of Dave's. The other part of it. But I want to bring this one up with the Wonder Woman. Like this was one of my favorite Rucker storylines.
Right.
Yep.
This is the storyline that I felt at the end when she did the Max Lord. That's how I felt she should have did him in the movie. Because he was annoying as hell in Wonder Woman 84. I was like, I'm sick of this guy coming out and saying, what is your wish? What do you want to wish for? I would have been like, I would have wished for you to get the hell out of my face. Nice.
The only thing that's really sad about this was originally drawn as a wraparound cover, and DC didn't make it a wraparound cover.
Oh.
So there's a complete other side of history of Wonder Woman that's supposed to be the back cover that they never published. here's the main A cover. Here you have Wonder Woman surrounded by a huge amount of Batman rogues villains.
Clayface. Joker.
She's got their ass strung up with that rope.
Yep. Nice.
That's funny, Lasso. I'm glad you gave me a list of stuff you didn't have, because I'm sure I would have got you doubles of crap, because I didn't know nothing about Wonder Woman. And
well, I
was doing your AOK day. I was like, damn, I'm going to go with when I got the last one, the slab. I said, I'm going off the wall. The weirdest thing I think he might not have.
I didn't have it either.
I deviated from.
Oh, I loved it. I thank you so much for
that one with the guitar. There was I think there's a Superman doing the same thing, and they were together. I was like, damn, that's pretty badass.
Yeah,
that was a fun one to do, man. I like to do them like that when people give me a little bit of a list of stuff they're looking for, and you can hunt and find it. Man, I was like, man, all the Lasso stuff just popping up for me, man. This is awesome. I had Jeff helping me. Me and Jeff was going, hey, man, this is on the list. You bring me one.
Yeah. You guys did a great job.
Man, that was fun.
Do you see Nathan's question there?
Stuff. I forgot half the G-Man stuff in his box. I just found 4 books I was supposed to put in his pile. I'll start you another pile, G-Man.
Thank you, buddy. I'm like, that's an example, you guys. Look at this. That's
the one we got from Tom.
This thing is gorgeous.
Tom had that, man. I was like,
it's the best copy I found. I mean, dude, you did awesome. This thing is gorgeous.
Yeah, man. I don't know nothing about John Carter from
I
Mars,
do,
but I just knew you said you liked him, so we found a good one. We got
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Even in the Mylar.
yeah. Hey, that guy. That's the guy, man. If you do get here, G-Man, and Sean will test you. We got to go to that guy Dave. That's his name, Jeff?
Dave? Tom.
Tom. I mean, Tom. I always
that
call
book
him Dave,
is being
man.
graded, by the way, Steve. I'm getting that one graded.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, man. It'd be cool to. Man, I wish they'd get these cons going back again so we could all meet up and have like a 50 people going through, just ruling the whole freaking row.
50? That's only half. That's only half. That's not even half, man.
It might be more like 100.
Brian, how many autographs do you have of the Star Trek? Because my favorite experience from Star Trek cons, and I used to go 25 years ago, was the best one was Leonard Nimoy when he was still alive.
The worst one, I'd already know that. The worst one.
Got like 4 autographs from him, talked to him for like 15 minutes at least, had a drink with him. He was awesome. Best memory ever.
The I guess craziest story I could probably give you is the first Star Trek person I met was the top of the mountain, which was Shatner.
Oh boy!
So, this is in MegaCon a long time ago. I'm trying to think. 2008, 2007, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds
one of his first visits to Orlando, and I remember the line was about 1,000 people deep.
Yep.
And I was somewhere in the hundreds. And you want to talk now? This is the first person I ever met. I had never had my photo taken with anybody because I hadn't started that thing yet. Because I think he was charging $125 or something.
Yeah.
And, so I did that, and I cannot even tell you how intimidating this was. By the time we got up to this little, like, I'll call it a Pope tent that he was in, being protected by all these people, the guy that's actually in those Priceline commercials, that big, huge bouncer guy, was standing there. And I thought, my gosh, it looks like someone just gave a big chunk of cement wall life. I mean, he's just standing there. And then so he looks to me and he goes, "You're next." You walk behind him, you stand on the X, and you don't talk to him, you don't touch him, and you exit the back of the room. And I'm like, "Yes, sir." So that picture is on my wall. And, some of my friends make fun of it and said it looks like, because they use this ridiculous, like, blue background. So, like, oh, yeah, I see you got that Step Brothers picture with Shatner, because that's what it looks like.
They still use that blue background.
I'm standing behind him, like, scared out of my mind. Yep. And he's just sitting there like, "Yay, I'm making $1 million sitting here today. Not saying a word." And, but it was just crazy. But I decided I rehearsed, because I mentioned, I know to Sean that I teach high school. And so I got it in my head that I said, "You know what, guys? I'm going to talk to him." I said, I read in this little description, you're not allowed to talk to him, but I said, I'm going to say something. So I rehearsed touching his shoulder and running away as quick as I could with like one of my kids. I'm like, "Sit in his chair," and I said, I got to think of something quick. So I decided to say, "I've admired you all my life." was so when I got the chance, even after the big bouncer guy told me not to talk to him, not to touch him, took the picture, and I touched his shoulder real quick and went, I've admired you all my life, and I ran. So, and then my daughter was waiting for me on the other side. She must have seen it. She's like, "Really, Dad?" I'm like, "Yes, do it." So
that's badass.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
I would love to be there. I would love to be there to see him scuttle away.
Yeah. I wish I could have had someone record it because I'm doing it in real time, so I had no idea what it looked like. It probably looked ridiculous.
Hey, Sean, that would have been a viral video on TikTok today.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So I tell myself in my mind that he said thank you. I don't know whether he did or he didn't. I leave it at that.
No, it'd be more, well, that guy touched me more than anything.
It was the same thing with Stan Lee. We could not touch him at all. It just stand next to him, take the picture, and exit out.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael Rooker was different. When I met Yondu. Man, come up, put his arm around me, talked. We need to do a Yondu movie. He had the whole he was awesome as hell, man. Totally different, man. He brought everyone up and talked to him and said you could say anything to him. He was cool as hell. I mean, he's not on the level of those guys, of course, but
Yeah. He's Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah, he's Mary Poppins, y'all. I actually have a cover, and I had that drawn on with him coming down in the umbrella. Jim drew it for me. Boat right? He drew that for me. I got a sketch cover, man. I'll bust it out one day. Let you check it out. It's pretty cool.
Sean, I saw Nathan's comment down there in the bottom. First, I know he asked Lasso a question about artists, but right there,
John Delancey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody met him, but I met him as well. I got a decent picture with him, but I was actually in line. I was first one that day. I was the first one in line, so I thought, oh, this is going to be great. He's fresh. He's going to be humorous. He didn't say a word to me. I went up and I was like, hey, man, nice to meet you. And he's kind
Who is it? Who are y'all talking about?
John Delancey played Q in Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh, okay, see,
and then so I put a hand out. I was like, because this is pre-pandemic. I put my hand out to shake him, and so he put his fist up like Howie Mandel for a fist bump instead. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I kind of get that, And then so we stood, we took the picture, and they just announced Picard on CBS All Access, which is Paramount Plus now. But and I said, hey man, I hope your phone rings for Picard, and he just nodded. I'm like, I just paid $75, and you didn't say a single word to me.
No.
And I'm the first guy. I'm the first guy in line. So it's like, what is guy number 50? How's he get treated? Like, I don't know.
Probably the same.
Bad.
Yeah, it's like you meet these celebrities and even some comic artists, they just there for the money and that's it. They don't really want to interact with anybody. I love interacting with people who come there to see their fans. And I've met Maurice LaMarche, the voice actor of The Brain and Pinky and the Brain and Egon Spengler. David Hayter, who did Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid series. Those guys were fantastic to hang out with. And before that, I met Kevin Conroy, and he was welcoming. He was excited to see his people. And this was on the third day of the con. And he's still happy to take photos and to talk with his fans. But when you get those that just don't really care and they just sign the photograph and that's it, it's like, man, that was kind of a letdown. Because you was hoping to, to at least get a couple of words in, tell them your work, and they respond back and enjoy the conversation, but they just did just to collect money.
Yep. Yep. Them are the worst, man.
Pretty much.
You don't remember them. They're only memorable for a bad story in your life now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to meet Neil Adams so bad, but I've heard so many horror stories that that $50 can get diverted somewhere else that I know is going to bring
Lasso, let me tell you a story about that.
Okay, I want to hear.
He comes to our comic store. He's at my LCS here in Tampa. I go in, they got a whole spot cleared out. They took all the books out to put him in this spot, and he was nice as hell. I could not believe it. I got to take a picture with his arm around me, and he signed my book for free, and I sent it to Bueller. It's on Bueller's wall, and his thing back there is like, I want to say it's X-Men 57 or something. He was super nice, man. Look at that. Byron's got him a good one.
Yeah, he could not have been more fantastic. He was
I
one
guess
of the
it's
first
just the
artists I
time.
met, and my daughter had to like poke me in the back, because he was sitting there by himself, at the convention I was at, and she's like, go talk to him, and I like stumbled up there and like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's okay, man. He shook my hand. And then I was like, I love your Green Arrow run. Like you're changing the costume. And then right here where he took his picture, he said, hey, he goes, there's nobody here. He goes, why don't you sit down? We'll talk a little bit. I'm like, sit down and talk with Neil Adams? I mean, this is insane. We did. We talked about 10 minutes, about Green Arrow and Batman and Ra's al Ghul. And it was insane.
That's crazy,
That
man. I
is
guess
awesome.
it's just the timing, right, Byron? When you meet him, or how many people maybe are there, because there wasn't that many people the day
There
we
wasn't
met him.
anybody waiting to talk to him. He was just sitting there sketching.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. I got to meet Miko Suyan too. He had his head down. I didn't know if he was a girl or a guy.
I remember I said the same thing.
And then he went like that, and I said, "Damn, I'm pretty sure it's a guy." But I'm not gonna, the name wasn't giving me a clear indication, so I didn't say shit. He rolled off.
Right.
That was the first time I met Boatwright. Was at that signing. Was when I met Neil and met Nico.
Okay.
And I remember when I was in line for Claremont, Chris Claremont, and I've heard stories about Claremont. Love to have conversations to the point where the line will never move.
Yeah, there's a you got to have a little give there.
But I was like, man, this guy is just talking up a storm. I'm like, man, when is the line gonna move? And I heard a lot of people say that.
When you got your book signed by Capullo, did he talk to you a lot? Because he talked a lot to me. He was
Man,
talking
that was the third time I met Capullo. I love meeting Capullo.
He's super nice, man. He was
super
awesome.
nice. He loved to take a photo with you, and I love asking him questions. Like, man, I'd love to see you do Spider-Man. And he was like, oh, I'll be excited to do Spider-Man, do the webbing and all that stuff. It's like you love to talk to these creators and then like ask them, like, I would love you to do this character or that character, and sometimes they'll get excited. And I remember, I'm gonna grab that in a minute. Brian Stelfleet, phenomenal artist.
Yeah,
I got the sketch cover.
he did Miles. Didn't he do the Miles where Miles is back's to you?
I think so.
It's like a second or third run or something. But I got one, and it's got his name on the CGC label. I know it's him.
But I know when I met Stelfleet, I wanted to get a sketch cover done by him. And I had a Black Panther book. But for some reason, he wasn't doing Black Panther. Like, doing sketches of Black Panther. He would only do T'Challa, but he wouldn't do sketches of Black Panther. And I didn't really question it further. It was odd, but at the same time, I was like, I ain't going to question it. So when he asked me what I like on this cover, I say, how about Movie Shuri? Bro, that man's face lit up. And he's like, what, Movie Shuri? I would gladly do that.
Yeah, something different, something off the beaten path that he's probably like, yeah, man. Give me
and I'm gonna grab it right now to show y'all, especially Brian and stuff. So I'll be right back.
Let me grab another one off the wall.
Oh my goodness.
G-Man, how's your show going to go tonight without the Cantonese comic kid available?
I want to talk to you afterwards, Jeff.
Okay.
Get an opportunity.
This one here, room, is Fabian Nicieza, which I'm sure you guys know, being involved with Liefeld, with Deadpool, and countless other Marvel stuff. But when I had my picture taken with him, he happened to point to my shirt that I was wearing. He goes, "Hey," "Can I tell you a story about this shirt?" It's like, "Yeah, sure." He told me that when Disney bought the property, when they bought Marvel, they have, of course, ramped up production on action figures, T-shirts, merchandising of all kinds. And he was involved with one of the comics that they took a little swaths of this shirt from. And he said he got a letter from legal saying that they didn't use enough of the book to warrant paying him for anything. So he explained that when they designed this shirt, they had to make sure they used less than 28 or 33% of any of the covers. So no one that worked on any of those books saw any revenue. It all went to Disney because they didn't use enough of their work.
That
I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, dude.
That's ridiculous.
I'm so greedy, man. They got all
right?
this money. Come
that's
on,
ridiculous.
man.
Yeah,
Give
you
back
told me
to
that
the
story, and it
artist
just blew
creation.
my mind.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
First of all, before I go on further, I want to address Who That, man. I brought him in here and I haven't seen him. He's been muted.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's here. He'll pop in, hopefully. But yeah, this is what I got from Brian Stelflees. This is his Shuri.
That's fire shit,
wow.
man.
That's
Love
nice.
that. That is freaking, that should have costed you a lot of money, man. I don't know what it cost you, but it should have been a lot because that's a lot of detail, man.
Beautiful.
And it's funny. It cost $100, but I was like, man, this is like more than $100.
Cheap.
This is more than $100
Yeah.
for what he did. And when I told him about movie Shuri, like I said, his face lit up and he was excited to do it. And when I went back the next day and he was already done with it, I was blown away by this, man. Like, you can't get no better than what he did here.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
And we took a photo. I thanked him so many times. It was just an awesome meeting him, and that was my first time meeting Stelflees, and I was like, I hope he come back to MakeCon. I even told him that.
It's amazing how much original artwork actually goes for. Like, if you can go back and watch some of those old reruns of Comic Book Men, they're on Amazon from AMC. Those guys will walk in there and have original sketches from, Marvel guys or DC guys. How much those things go for. I remember there's an episode they did the auction for Mike Esposito, who had passed away, and they did the auction for, I believe it was his widow. And just how much money was generated by his original sketches for the Flash and stuff. I mean, here we go. Lasso's popping some stuff up there. I mean, just amazing, how much this stuff is. Those original prints, even with the, with all the design lines of where the print goes in the book.
That's crazy, man. That's awesome.
Awesome, Lasso.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was always my goal to have a cover, a Wonder Woman cover. And that is 275. That's Rich Buckler artwork and Dick Giordano inks. And that's the first cover appearance of the second Cheetah.
Nice.
Damn.
Nice.
That is awesome, bro. And that's something I haven't fallen into the trap of buying original artwork, because I remember when I was talking to what's his name? I just bought a book with his cover art. But he had a whole spread of his original artworks, and those are like thousands of dollars. Yeah. I was really tempted to get one page because it looked so beautiful, and I think it was a Vampirella interior art. And I was like, man, I really want that page.
If you didn't get it, I would have got it.
Boy,
Boy,
Jeff would have been on you like, man, Pup, you really need that. You really think you need that?
Yeah.
What's up, Boat Right?
Yo, what's up, Jim?
Or like the story behind this one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's Buzz that did the 90s run from Vengeance of Vampirella. He did a bunch of covers. He told me he wasn't even in the book. None of his art's in this book. So he goes,
it is now.
Yeah, it is now. Because he goes, and then he goes, oh yeah, I'm not gonna. I asked him what he was gonna charge me. He said nothing. He didn't charge me anything.
Is that the day we went back the extra day?
Yeah, we weren't even gonna.
That 90 got me into going.
Yeah, we weren't gonna go.
Well, bro,
I brought that.
Sean, I gotta go. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. This was so much
fun.
fun.
Let me show the book you got me real quick, G-Man, before you go, so I can thank you for these. Real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice Treasury edition.
Oh, Treasury edition. Awesome Hulk on there. Love this one. This is awesome. Loving Star Wars lately. I've been into Star Wars big time. And check this out. This is a record. He knows I love that. He knows I love that guy right there because look at my shirt.
Love it.
And I didn't
Love
even
it.
plan that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But thanks for all the books. You got me other Star Wars books
Absolutely,
and
brother.
other stuff.
Anytime.
I appreciate it. G-Man was awesome. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, buddy. Yeah, I'm glad you like the all the bounty hunter covers.
Oh yeah, I got all those are in my Star Wars. They're already put up and they're shelved away. They
All right,
can't
guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
Take care, G-Man.
Yeah,
Later,
yeah.
Peace.
Awesome, man.
Man, that was a hell of a cover he drew for you, Sean. God almighty.
Yeah.
I forgot
Beautiful,
about that
man.
when you showed that again.
I gotta bring it back a couple of times. But I wanted to show this to Lasso. I brought this print a couple of years ago. Of course, you mentioned her earlier.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Just beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Then I have another. I got like a bunch of Wonder Woman stuff. I mean, here's what I got this signed by Clay Mann.
Oh wow.
Trinity issue number 1 in the print form. And then Rob Hunter did this one. I met him. He was another cool guy that I met at a small con.
Oh wow, I like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I always liked the Wonder Woman from watching the show back in the day, but I didn't really start buying her comics until like the 2000s.
Yeah.
There's some, interesting periods of Wonder Woman comic book art, or not art, but just stories. The Silver Age ones can take some, I don't know, it could take a special taste. There's an issue I remember that, they're all going to have adventures about kites, and everything has to be a kite themed. And I was like, what the heck am I reading? But you just appreciate it for what it was at the time. But there's some really good stuff too. One thing that does get talked about a lot, and it just celebrated recently its 50th anniversary, but that was the non-powered era of Wonder Woman, when she was Diana Prince, otherwise known as the Mod period. And as a child, I would, if I could find them, I would buy these as back issues at a comic book store, but they didn't have a whole lot of them, and I didn't like them. I didn't like these stories, but I reread them as an adult, and they're really good. They're really good Denny O'Neil stories.
Yeah.
What's up, who that?
What up, who that?
I was doing something. I was doing something for my daughter, getting her clothes together. She's going by mom's house, so. Getting all my stuff together. I got some. I want to show y'all some. I got some stuff. I'm excited because Steve's here.
I'm excited then if you got some good shit to show. Front screen, baby.
So, well, this is my I call myself the raffle king.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I do too. I entered a raffle. I probably spent like $40 for some cards. I end up getting a spot in the main because there's a story behind it. But I didn't get to pick my spot. I was the last person to enter, so I got the last spot. So yeah, obviously I won. And these are the 2 cards, the 2 slabs I won. Slabs. So this is the first one.
John Morant, is that a 10?
It's a 10.
Damn.
So if you know,
card's in the that's in the top 10 of card investors right now.
Yep. So I got that one. I finally got that one off the list. And this was also with that.
You got Williamson too. God damn. Man, God.
So let me do this again. Let me do it like they do on Instagram. They go, Ja Morant from Murray State, PSA 10.
Yeah.
And then they do Zion Williamson.
Hey,
Yeah,
last night, his stats last night, who that?
Yeah,
I think
39.
He was 16 for 19 from the field. I think that was Zion. 16
Yep,
for
39
19.
points. I think 10 rebounds. Or I know he had at least 10 rebounds.
Yeah, dude,
but
he's a beast.
They just need a little help. But yeah, I won that in the little raffle. I know. I saw you. I was like, oh, you were like
I wish
that.
I would have won that in the raffle. I feel like just like you are today.
And then look,
You
y'all was talking about like people y'all met, like for celebrities and artists. So I'll go with the artist first, and then I'll show you the celebrity one. So artist came down here. He doesn't come down as much, even though he's a big New Orleans Saints fan. Biggest probably New Orleans Saints fan in Canada that I know. So it was Ken Lashley. He came down, big Saints fan. I gave him some Saints stuff. He was excited. He's like, man, I wish I would have got this from you before I went to the Saints store. I spent like $500. And I was like, I told you in a message when you was coming, I was going to give you some stuff that they give us because I'm a season ticket holder. So he was doing sketches on covers, $60. He charged me $60. I got 2 of them. I should have got more, but he only charged me $60. And one of them I bought that he already had done before the show. And then this one I asked him to do Fury, like the movie, but with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Ooh.
So
wow. Nice.
So he knocked this out in like one day or 2 days maybe, because he stayed for the whole weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, because I told her, I said I wanted to make like she has the costume on with the fur, just like on the if you remember that run he did. So that's like the fur on her shoulder, like around her shoulders. Yeah. You can kind of see the costume, like she has the Black Panther costume on, stuff like that. So that's what he did for me for $60. So
Ken Lashley's an awesome guy.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like I think he was actually super more nice to me since I'm a Saints fan. He's a Saints fan, and I was giving him some stuff. That's like my name's actually Huda.
You know what he's trying to say.
Oh yeah. Well, look, this is what I like to do to people like that because I don't know them. This is what I like to do to people like that because I'm petty. I'm a petty person. I'm a petty person. You could blow that. You can go blow that. Let's just pull that off the top. That's off the top. Then go blow that. But to go on to long with some people who are really nice, who didn't have to be nice, they could have just been like, sign, move along. But these guys who did these sets of movies, I'm just going to show it and then I'll kind of go more into it. But that's Anthony. The Russo brothers.
Oh, Russo.
So the Russo brothers came down for Wizard World. They had all of the cast, but only person that wasn't there was like Chadwick Boseman and they had a few other people, but they had basically and Robert Downey Jr. But they had the whole cast come down for Civil War, and they were doing signings for free.
Wow.
Yeah, they were doing signings.
Wow.
So. But they were super nice. They talked to you for a few seconds. Great guys. And then I went to Gallo. Mr. Gallo was awesome as well. They play Crossbones. And then Falcon, Mr. Anthony Matthews from New Orleans. So all of those guys were awesome, nice. I would have did Chris Evans, but I didn't want to pay like $500 for a signature. And then he was like closed in. It was like top flight security. And then they said, we're going to do something funny. So they put Hail Hydra on it. So yeah, like super nice guys did free signings. They didn't have to do free signings, but they did it. And these were like, I guess like you said, mini posters that they for the movie that they actually gave us for free. We didn't have to buy this either. So
that was awesome.
Super nice guys. That's all I can say. Super nice guys. And to the guy in the chat who said, I don't know your collection, come on the hunt, baby. Don't be scared. Come on the hunt. Don't be scared. Like people talk. What the heck? Don't come on a hunt. It's all in fun. Come on a hunt. Don't be scared. You got a great collection that you said, Mr. Elliott. And don't be scared. I'm not worried about. Are you talking Marshawn Lattimore getting arrested? Come on now. Come on now. How many people here on the panel probably could have got arrested for buying something stolen that you didn't know was stolen? Just saying.
Yeah, like buying a comic collection.
Yeah, exactly. You get anything for OfferUp. I'm just saying, or one of those other little sites that you buy, secondhand. You don't know what you're buying unless that person gives you the receipt they bought the thing with. But yeah, super nice guys. I would say the Russo brothers. That's all I want to say, man. Great guys.
Yeah, it's always great to just when you meet a celebrity and they're nice to you and they're willing to conversate with you. Why am I echoing, man? I'm real loud in the echo.
Oh, that's Candy's kid. Every time he goes mute, I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, when you meet these celebrities, it's awesome to have an experience with them, and that's why I enjoy the most about going to conventions. And now, like I said, when I go to conventions now, I'm more interested in meeting the comic book community, like the celebrity guests, the comic artists and writers, and even the comics is like secondary to just getting together with the community, And Steve can attest to that when we hung out at Tampa Bay Comic Con.
Man, that's the first part, man. We do all this behind the scenes and hear all the stories and all that's the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever come up to C2E2?
No, but you know what? Now that this has happened, if that's the first one back, I think I could talk my wife into that one. You would want to go to that one.
I was thinking about going to Emerald City Con, the year that the pandemic, because we were in January and we were thinking about Seattle's kind of on the bucket list to travel with my wife and I. And we thought about going there, but then everything started going south. And we're like, all right. And then, of course, they canceled it. But that was on the list.
That's another one that I do want to visit, Emerald City. There's like a lot of cons that I want to visit. And it's mainly just to go there, have a different experience than what the normal cons I go to here in Florida.
Yep.
And to see other members of the community in there. Because that last con at the C2E2 video that Bear Island put out, it was so awesome to watch those guys get together and just have fun.
Yeah, I watched that video like 2 or 3 times. That was a good video. Bear Island did a really good job on that. Did a really good job.
Especially when we were talking all that trash about how many people we had and shit got canceled.
Yeah.
They got to rub it in. They got to edit that after.
Yeah, they got the stun on us, and we was preparing for MegaCon, and MegaCon didn't happen, man. I was like,
we had Immortal Biggie Shaq coming. We had a ton of people coming, man, to that. I think Kavi was coming.
Yeah, Kavi was coming. He was going to be...
Yeah.
He was at C2E2, and he was going to come to MegaCon.
Yeah. He was going to be able to brag. You've been to both. Did you see the book he got, Sean? That Grail that we all went in on and got him?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
That was pretty cool, man. I know I had to get in. He got me a good book, man. He got me a ASM 15, first appearance of Craven. Him and Take the Time Collectibles went in on it. It's a 4 or 5. That's an expensive book and only shooting up now. Everything's been shooting up, but that book's went up a lot in the last couple months.
Nice. Yeah, he's been bringing up a lot of G.I. Joe stuff, man. Actually, Nathan, we did an episode talking about G.I. Joe comics like a couple months back. I think last year on 4th of July, we talked a lot about G.I. Joe comics. Yep. I have a nice G.I. Joe collection. I'm happy, though, I got my G.I. Joe 1 before it started growing in price.
I had one for a little bit, but I gave it to Bo.
Yeah, Bo was on there. That was a fun episode. But, Brian, I want to ask you about your traveling, because you said you travel a lot, and you recently went to Pittsburgh, and you did videos of, Pittsburgh comic shops. and stuff. This is something that you're gonna make like even more normal because you said you was planning to do this before the pandemic hit,
Right.
And now
yeah.
that things eased off, you're gonna do more.
Yeah, I definitely want to do more. There's a lot more, as you well know, Orlando has a ton of stuff. I've yet to even scratch the surface up there. So so I want to go to the places that I frequent. I go to Orlando quite a bit. And I got a couple from Tampa up there. And then just did spring break. Pittsburgh, like I said, is my hometown. That's where I'm originally from. Lived there until I was about 24 years
Are you a
old.
Steelers fan?
So, well, I mean, I don't think I'm not allowed to not be a Steelers fan. That's kind of the way it is. Like, you know, when you're born, they inject you with black and gold blood.
It's part of your. It's part of, I gotta live and survive.
Right. Yeah. So we're Steeler merchandise is on sale year round up there.
Puff's brother's a big Steeler fan. That's why I asked. And it's
Pittsburgh Steelers, actually, Steve. Pittsburgh Steelers. That's how you have to say it. Whenever you go up there, you're gonna get some pierogies and pronounce it the right way.
The Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers. You want to talk about a cold arena, stadium? My gosh, my wife bought my brother and I tickets probably about 6 or 7 years ago. We went to a game in December. I thought they were going to cut my feet off. It was so cold. I'm like, this is insane. You know, we're down in Florida and we have like covered domes. And then but then you go to a cold state and it's outdoors and it's like, oh my gosh, never again am I going to go to a game in December in Pittsburgh. My blood's too thin now living down here all these years.
Yeah, you go there, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a whole new thing of life. But traveling, Sean, it's definitely something I want to incorporate in things. We're already talking about taking another trip back to, Lasso mentioned, Nashville and stuff. We're going to do a trip to the Smoky Mountains, I think, for Thanksgiving. So I want to see what's in that area, see what I can unearth and shops I can visit. And then definitely want to go back out to Vegas at some point because when I went to Torpedo, I wasn't doing the channel at the time. And I want to go back to Torpedo Comics and show people inside that vault that is just incredible of all those books that exist out that way. And we'll see where it goes.
Awesome.
Nice. There's a lot of shops here in Florida. I was surprised at the amount of shops in Orlando, that's close by. Between 30 minutes away. I haven't even hit up Living Dead Comics yet. And I brought from them at conventions.
Yeah, they have a strong presence at the cons.
That Coliseum of Comics on Kissimmee, holy crap, man. I love that store, man.
Yeah, I was telling Sean about that one. I said, if you're going to go to one, I feel like that's one of their better ones.
That one's, I love
That's the best one out of all of them, I think.
Yeah. And then most recent huge sale they had just up at the hotel in Orlando, I got to meet Phil, the guy that owns all those chains, or at least is a priority owner. I had never met him before. And he was super nice, and had a lot of good things to say about comics and the comic community. So it was good.
Byron, is that the one that's got the big Hulk as soon as you go in the door?
That is the one in Kissimmee, correct.
Yeah, okay, that one's got a goddamn huge Hulk, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I took a picture of that when I'd gone up. The pandemic was still kind of going on, and I had my mask on, so I put it up on Instagram. I'm like, this guy isn't wearing a mask, but you tell him, not me. I took a picture.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about that, when my shop, Epic Comics, they had a mask on the Yoda statue. With his lightsaber, they had a mask on him. They're like, make sure you have your mask or Yoda will take you down. Yeah.
Even the barbecue place down the road here in Bradenton has a big mask on this giant pig they have out front.
Awesome, man. Like I said, I just want to get together with the crew and just do a day full of hunting. Because that shit was fun last year. And even when you guys came to Orlando, Steve, Jeff, with Javi, that was super fun as hell.
U-turn city that day.
Hey, Jeff got a new phone. Maybe we'll make it on right the first time now.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, who that said that he planning on coming back to Florida, the Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, he's a traveler, man. He needs to travel, and there's a cruise line out of here in Tampa. Who that?
All right, I did a cruise out of Tampa last year.
God dang it, man!
Was it last year?
Man.
Was it last year, Pop? What
you went to Disney and then you said you did a cruise.
Yeah, I did the cruise out of Tampa last year. Went to Cuba and stuff. So yeah, I did that. Like we're going to Fort Lauderdale. That's for my daughter's birthday. She likes to travel for her birthday, so it's in the summertime, perfect. So we're gonna take her to the beach, Fort Lauderdale. We're gonna go to San Diego, but she decided to go to Fort Lauderdale. That's what she picked. So going there. I like to travel, get out and about, but this pandemic kind of slowed a lot of stuff down because we had plans to go back to Europe. It probably would have been like in the next year or two, but I don't know if we're gonna go now.
Lasso, do you travel?
Yeah. I actually had plans last year. I was supposed to go to Europe too, and that kind of that kind of went away. Most of my travel, Chicago is only about a 3.5-hour drive from where I'm at right now. So in 2019, I think I was in Chicago. I think I made 10 trips to Chicago in a year. So, and Chicago's got some very good comic book stores and some good places that you can shop at too. Not far from Wrigley, there's a nice store that you can hit. Then you can hit a vintage toy store on the way to the next comic book store, all within walking distance. So that's nice. But most of my travels have been primarily down south. I haven't been to Florida in a while, but next time I do, I'm going to be hitting you guys up. And
yeah,
come on down.
Come on down.
The weather's fine. The water's fine. Come on in.
I know, but your water has alligators, and
Yeah,
alligators is such a big concern for someone who lives in Wisconsin currently. But alligators freak me out.
Hey, I don't like them at all. I won't eat alligator, and I won't eat shark because my theory is if I don't eat them, I don't want them eating me. We're even now. Stay.
Man, I would love for you to come down, Lasso, man. We just have fun.
We had a great time too. Yeah.
Imagine, but if we got the C2E2, maybe him and Rob G could get up to the C2E2.
For sure. I've got I didn't go to the last C2E2, but I went to like the 3 before then, and I just had such an amazing time at C2E2, and I didn't, at that time I really wasn't a YouTuber, and I didn't know anyone in the community or anything, and I had that good of a time not knowing anyone. I can't imagine what it would be like.
Oh man, it's
getting together with people.
It's so much more fun, man.
Yeah, man, it's a whole different thing. Because I used to go. I don't even know how many I've been. I didn't even keep track. I used to go to the Tampa Con. Only thing I did was go and look at comics and I'd leave. I never even did anything else, and I wasn't really collecting serious. But I know I've been to a few of them. My daughter dressed up as somebody one time. I remember taking her and looking at all the people dressed up. That's about all I ever did. VV.
VV.
I finally sent VV's books to them. They've been traveling for a while.
I had just sent out his package this week.
If your package beats my package there, Sean, and I sent mine out more than 2 weeks ago, from now on, I'm just going to send you the money and all that. I shipped like 6 months one time.
Hey, you still haven't sent out Sanimation's package, did you?
No, I'm scared to. I wanted to see how good VV's does. Then I'm going to send hers because hers is right here boxed up. I looked at the other day. I got it all ready to go. I've had it packaged up for 2 months.
Damn.
I don't want it to get lost.
I feel like you've had it longer than that.
Man, I've had it packed up for a while, but I've unpacked it and added books 3 times. So it's been
it's a UPS
I got
walk off.
Yeah, man, I got to get that one out, man. That's the last one, Sean. I'm all caught up, man. I've sent everybody all AOKs I was doing. I got them all done. Rob G, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking good now. I got time to do some stuff.
So, Steve, since you're always hunting for somebody else, what are you hunting for yourself?
Oh, man. You know
Fantastic Four 5.
What book I'm going to concentrate on getting is ASM 13. I'm going to get that because I got 14 and 15. I want to get 13. So I got that, that cool little run with all new characters right in a row. I kind of want to do that. Yeah. I actually messaged the guy because he had a nice raw copy, but I wanted to know if there's any restoration because they're good for coloring in the black. The black gets spine ticks, and a lot of people color touch that book. So I wanted to make sure. But it looks like a good 6.0 or 7.0, man, and it's pretty good price right now. The way books are going up, I screw around, it'll end up being $3,000 before I know it.
Yeah.
That's the same with me and Fantastic Four 52, first Black Panther.
I asked today, Sean. Asked Jeff.
Yeah.
What happened? I asked the Big Red today. We went to Big Red Toys. You ever been there, Byron? Big Reds?
Yeah, with the vintage toys. Yeah,
with all the toys. Yeah,
down near Busch Gardens. I know where that's at.
Yeah, he got a nice collection in, and he got a Fantastic Four 52. And I said, man, what do you want for it? It was a 6.0. He goes, man, they're going for what did he say, 2,000 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
1,500 to 2,000 or something. And
right.
a 6.0 like 8 months ago was like $600. I'm like, God dang, man, you mess around, man. These books are flying up, man.
Man, look, I like
for the Black Panther movie, Raw. You could get that book for around $150, $200.
Exactly, yeah. It's another book you got to watch out for color touch too, because it's got a lot of black on that cover,
right?
Man. But it's easy to tell if they do it because most people do it with marker and it goes or bleeds right through to the back side of the cover and on the first splash page. I picked this up today, Sean, for a cheap price, man, and I only got it because it was so cheap, man. But it was worth it.
Nice.
What
issue was that?
This is issue 76. It's got a Silver Surfer, Galactus, and Psycho Man appearances. No first appearance or something, but I got it for what it cost to freaking slab it, pretty much. I couldn't pass it up, man. $1,200.
Especially, like anything from Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
before issue 100.
It's a Kirby cover, yeah.
Yeah, before like issue 100, you definitely want to snatch those.
Yeah, I got a lot of those early ones when they're good shape. I try to get them, man.
I picked these things up last week.
Boat, man. Tampa hasn't moved, Boat. You're allowed to come any week.
Yeah.
I give you the permission.
Got these creepies. They're all Frazetta covers too.
Nice. I love some Frazetta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Jeff and I were talking once during one of his Wednesday shows. Those Battlestar Galactica TV guide things that Frazetta did. I'd like to get my hands on some of those. They rarely, they were in TV guide and that was it. Yep. But he did a lot of, fantastic art that's in line with everything that Jeff collects that, bled over into that, Galactica promo on ABC. And of course, what he generated, the show didn't, really look aesthetically like that, but it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I was with Jeff when he was looking at them creepy covers. He's like, should I get these? I say, man, those are pretty good shape and a pretty good price, man. Don't go, I should have got them and I didn't get them. That's the worst feeling in the world.
I didn't price them, but Yancey, if you guys go back over there to Yancey Street where I did the video at, he's got a whole selection of
that's where I got him.
That's where he got them. We went.
All right, yeah. So he's got a nice selection there.
Yeah, that's exactly where those came from. That whatever you probably saw, that's what you got.
My second LCS, anyways. Really.
Hey, I'm definitely gonna try and hook up with you both to meet Sergeant Slaughter, Tugboat, and the Mouth of the South.
God dang it, man! They're killing me, man.
Yeah, it's next weekend.
I know, but there's
my birthday weekend
after that are like 2 miles.
First 2 shows.
There's
always going to be Shockmaster to me. Sorry, Bo.
Hey, I met him, and when we met Bueller that day, Bueller,
he was there. Yeah,
and he had the glitter helmet there and everything.
But Bryon was there. Bryon was that day. That's where we met him.
Right.
But Sean, you were there, and then you left. And I think we met him. Did we meet him next day?
No, we met him at the next show, not that one.
Yeah, I met you guys at the Land.
Yeah, the Land show.
And you go, man, I just spent some money. I ain't going to that. That was a good show.
But I'm glad that Biggie got that print.
I sent that too. I got that out too, Sean. Finally, I was like, damn, I gotta get this shit going, man. I was selling books and cards, so I was living at the freaking post office, and man, it sucks there. I hate the post office.
Yeah.
But they don't speak by name now.
Some idiots in there too. God.
I was glad that because I sent out Vigilante and Al, because Al Vigilante sent that Green Arrow Prince variant with Batgirl on the cover. So I sent Al that with a couple of other books and sent them out the same day.
Hey, me and Magic are on. VV sent me his list of Conan books, and it says Magic, Steve, Magic. I was like, Jesus Christ, I gotta catch up with Magic. He's killing me.
Yeah.
That was funny. He puts your name by if you sent him a book. So
No.
I tried to fill out the first 30, I think, Magic. That's what I sent him. What I could find that he was missing. So and they were some good copies too, man. So he's going to get some good copies of the Conans to fill out that. And Ybor City's got a lot of like 30 through, I think it's 270, I want to say.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of those, and I might could get him a big chunk at one time, you know. So I want to run a good deal, so he gives them to me. Dave owes me a good deal. I feel like
you split the chunk up. You split it half. I'll send off half with that Transformers too. So.
Yeah, sending them was the worst thing.
Yeah.
I love that I was able to get him a double cover Conan, because I don't even have a double cover Wonder Woman.
He's got it listed on there too. Have you seen his list?
Yeah, I did. I saw it. Yeah,
it's awesome. I said, "Damn, Magic's got send him all kinds of shit." Yeah, that's the kind of competition BB likes. Magic, we battling back and forth.
I was so happy too. I was just on his channel a few days ago, and I got him a Art of Frank Thorne. First print.
Oh, he loves Frank Thorne.
And, you know, I had known about that existing, because I remember paging through the old comic books. They always had it listed, you know, as available. But that's the first time I'd ever actually seen one with my own eyes. And you don't, even if you go on eBay, they don't come up all that often on eBay. But this one was pretty high graded. It was a first print. And it was right around the holiday time when it came up. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to conserve money. And then I looked at it and I said, and I'm going to swear, I said, fuck it, he's worth it. And I just
that's how I feel about it. Yeah. Certain people, I'm like, man, screw it, man. You know, this is a good guy. I don't care. I'm getting it. I don't, you know, I'll worry about the other later. But you don't want to pay. Yeah, he's one of them for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do for my next trick. The one that I feel the worst for, and poor Sean had to deal with the aftermath of this. I sent VV an AOK, and one of the books I put in there was one of Comic Jabroni's books that Comic Jabroni owned. And I know that VV and Jabroni were very good friends. And, you know, VV held it together pretty good. I was just a wreck watching him at home. I had tears just streaming down my face. But VV had to do a live show with Sean like 20-some minutes after it got done. And if you watch the rewind of that, for about the first 20 minutes, VV just isn't himself. You know, he's just...
Yeah,
and I felt so bad over that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I sent one of my books to Lady Fantastic from I got it out of a mystery box that I bought only to help Comic Jerome. I didn't care about the books. I didn't care what he sent me. It was mainly I was sending him money towards his Grail book, which was the TMT one. So, and I got books, and I ended up I sent one to Biggie. I sent one to Lady Fantastic. It was a DC book, and I told her this is a special book. This is from, you know, Comic Jabroni bought this book and sent this, so you know this one's special. And she was like, "Oh, that is so awesome, man!" That I got a few of it still in my collection that Jabroni sent. I don't think freaking people realize how cool Jabroni was, man.
Oh, he was awesome, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
I was gonna get to meet him, but he was here, and you know he had met with Rod and all that, which was, you know, I understood all that. They were great friends, and I was gonna take him to dinner, but he had one of his guys with him, and I didn't want to invite him and not that guy, so it kind of I didn't know how to approach that. Now I regret not even asking, because he went to the restaurant I was going to take him to on top of that. It was so crazy, and I didn't go. But I gave one of the slabs to Biggie. Biggie's got a book that he gave me that was the main prize in the mystery box. I sent it to Biggie, so Biggie's got it, and he displays it. It's funny, man. I give books out, and they get displayed more than the shit I got here, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's cool. You know, I can see a book, you know. I'm seeing it more to hit there than I would here.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. That's why I like giving books out.
Yeah, it's better to see it on somebody else's, man.
You get to see it more than you see it at home when it's tucked away in a freaking box.
In a box.
I ain't got no room to put nothing up, man. If I turn this around and you saw my desk right now, you go, oh my God, man. You know, I'm like, it's like Pigpen, man, over here. I got cards and cups and books everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I just started wrestling with in the past year. You're at home a lot during everything that's going on. you start looking at all these long boxes. And I'm like, my gosh, do I have a lot of comics? You know, so I just kind of started, you know, and I've been working with, you know, Urban Legend. I've been thinning out my collection a little bit. So giving him some of the copper and modern stuff that'll move for him, and picking up some of his,
So you know
Bronze
Greg
Age.
pretty good too, huh?
Yeah, and he's doing pretty good. He's doing good by me for the most part. You know, and let me
he does
fill in
pretty
some
good
runs.
deals, man.
Yeah.
He calls me and Jeff when he gets in. He gets Vampirella's in.
Yeah,
He'll call
he'll
Jeff.
call.
And if he gets any, you know, new collections in, he posts them up. And if you call him, man, he'll put, you know, if you actually go in and buy them like you say you are, he'll put them aside for you. It's those people that go, I want it, and then, oh, I can't pay for it.
Yeah,
right
never
now.
show up.
Yeah, they
yeah,
don't
he's
show
helped
up.
me complete pretty much every Green Arrow run ever. I've got everything now. You know, I just have to go back and
That's
get
the greatest
better
store
copies.
to fill your runs into that.
Yeah,
you'll ever
yeah.
see.
I just have to get better copies of the Denny O'Neil Neil Adams run. That like 12 that year they did the title from 76 through, I think what they do it through 88. You know, so there's I have a few copies like from my dad and passed down, but they're just beat to all hell. So if I can get some better copies of those, I'll be all set. But everything from that, Mike Grell all the way up, Judd Winnick, I've got them all. Rebirth, New 52. It's fantastic. That's my guy.
So Green Arrow's your guy?
Yeah, Green Arrow and Green Lantern is definitely, and Shazam, as I was telling Scott earlier. I was a big fan of that cheesy 70s show. I got to meet Jackson Bostwick at the event down in Fort Myers about 3 years ago, and he was another one. Nobody was going up to him, so I went up and told him my love for the 70s cheesy show, and he's like, "Hey, sit down, let's talk." And we talked about Shazam and the whole controversy of Captain Marvel versus Shazam and naming in comics, and we just talked forever. And then took a picture with him and went my way after that. But he couldn't have been nicer, and he was only, I think he charged $20 for his autograph and photo. So
what's Green Arrow's first appearance? I mean, his very first.
Well, if you go all the way back, you're talking
Fun
comics
back.
back, because this is actually his 80th anniversary year. So it was 1941 that he was in More Fun Comics in that whole
More Fun. I knew. Yeah.
I think I think it's issue number 41 of More Fun Comics. But that's that whole cheesy Robin Hood gimmick. And it wasn't until Brave and the Bold when Neil Adams got a hold of it and reinvigorated. I think that's issue 85 of Brave and the Bold when he gave.
You talking about fixed him up, right?
Fixed him up, gave him the goatee, the darker look, and I think that's what I like too about Lasso's mentioned Bronze Age as well as Sean. That era of characters, even when they switched artists, they maintained a certain look. I never felt like even when it switched from Adams to Grell, between those Green Arrow titles, I'm like, oh, well, Neil must still be drawing this. And then you're like, wait a minute, he's not. He really kept that look. And then Giordano did it, kept that look. It wasn't until Grell got his Volume 2 run when he kind of relaunched it that he kind of changed the look up and gave him the hood and, changed that all around.
Yeah. So that More Fun Comics book you're talking about, my buddy is a Green Arrow. He loves the Green Arrow. In that book, he looked it up. I said, what is it? He goes, you don't even want to know what that book costs. That freaking More Fun Comics.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what he was looking at, the first cover appearance of Green Arrow. God, he told me what it was just a couple weeks ago. I can't remember now, but it was expensive too, the first cover appearance.
The one that I've kind of got on my radar right now is Adventure Comics issue 256. There's a backup story of Green Arrow in there, and that's done by Jack Kirby. And that's the first time, which he doesn't get a lot of credit for, but Jack actually did the whole story where he's abandoned on the island. That came from Kirby. And that's where that's first told, that backup story of how he got his archery skills and came back to, the States and stuff like that. So I think that's a Superboy cover with the police using kryptonite on Superboy. But that's issue 256 of Adventure Comics.
Well, Brian, when you mentioned the old Shazam TV show, there was nothing that would make this young Magic Lasso happier in that time than to see Shazam and Isis teaming up for an episode. Oh my gosh. Isis, I mean, the name didn't age well, but the character was fantastic.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they took it from that or not, but
I don't think so, but I read a funny story.
They don't chant Almighty Isis.
I read a funny story, and I don't know who it was, but someone was getting a comic art commission from Mike Vosberg, who drew the comic book. She had her own comic book that lasted 8 issues.
Yeah, right.
And through PayPal, in the note that they sent, They said, this is per our conversation regarding the ISIS commission. Well, PayPal sees ISIS commission and freaked out and froze their account and demanded an explanation of what was going on.
Wow.
And the person said, and PayPal received much more information about a 1970s comic book heroine than they probably ever thought they would know in their life.
Now, I don't know whether she's supposed to appear in the Black Adam movie or not, or which version we'll get of her, because there's that week 52 version, in the new 52 run that they have of ISIS, and she's affiliated with Black Adam, actually through marriage, eventually. But so I don't know if she's going to show up in that or not, or whether they'll just grease the wheel and maybe we'll see her later on.
And I can't believe that there weren't more episodes of ISIS than there were. Although after the live action series was done, she had her own cartoon. Yes. ISIS and the Super 7, I think it was. But I had the Viewmaster back in the day. I would love to get a chance to actually meet Joanna Cameron. I do have a personalized autograph from her, but I'd love to get a chance to actually meet her.
Yeah, I have not seen her doing any kind of cons or conventions. I don't know.
Yeah. Last I knew,
out of the limelight.
Last I knew that she was living in Hawaii and she did marketing for a hotel down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What you got for us, Steve?
Oh, my freaking boxes came that I've been shipping on and needed so bad. They knocked on the door and I said, "Oh yes, thank you. I need these." Never thought I'd be so happy to see boxes. I go there, and they got them in this little place up front. Every time I go, it's empty.
Yeah.
So then I got to go in and ask them. Well, we don't have time to get none right now. Sorry.
Man, I had the worst time trying to send an AOK down to Cookie. I mailed that thing February 16th. It ended up getting sent back to me. I mailed it again. It got sent back to me again, saying it's an incomplete address, and it's not. And finally, it got to him on, like I said, the first time I mailed it, it was February 16th, and I think it was like March 19th before he actually had it in his hands.
Wow, man. When I sent the BB, it took forever, man. I sent that Conan #1 to him.
Yeah,
3 months, right?
I was battling. I was going up there saying, "Hey, man, you guys told me 5 days, man. It's been 3 months. It's a little longer."
I got one better than all that. I did a video on it. Got something that shipped out from December. I think it was December, in the end of December. I didn't get it to the end of February. So, and it was coming from California.
Yeah, this was at least going far away. This was going to Austria at least.
I totally forgot about it. And I got the package. I said, I don't remember what this is.
And I was shocked when I sent the package to Sanimation, and it was like a small one. I sent the first class. It got there within a week. But then when I sent her a priority package, which was a bigger package, more books, it took 3 weeks.
Well, I did send mine priority too, every time, and I couldn't figure out why it came back to me saying incomplete address, and I sent Cookie a picture. I said, "This is what it says," and he says, "That's not an incomplete address. That is my address." It's crazy.
Yeah, I send the Cookie something from here because he's so close. He gets it like the next day, man. It's awesome. If I send to him or Raul or someone, it gets there. Bam! I'm like, damn.
It should get there like the next day or two because we here in Florida.
Yeah, it should, but it don't always. Sometimes I send shit and it's like 3 days. I ain't got it yet. I'm like, what the hell? You should have got that like the first day.
Poor Bake sent me something during the holidays. And
this will all change when they're doing drones delivering all this stuff, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. When Bake sent me something during the holiday, he was following the tracking of it, and a week later, it had only gotten an hour away from him in a week.
What's up, Biggie Shack, man? We were talking about you earlier, man.
We always talking about Biggie Shack.
Come on, man.
Hey,
you can
Sean,
jump on for a bit.
Yeah, get him on here. Sean, look at this book that Raul sent me for his buddy to get graded. It ain't Raul, so I'm going to show it, so it doesn't matter.
129.
129.90. He said that dude is like, wow, really? I thought it was maybe a 6 or 7. I'm like, what? He sent like 5 others that are good, like Avengers 57, and they all came back good grades, man. But that was unbelievable. That book's through the roof right now.
Hey, y'all was talking Captain Marvel, Shazam earlier. I just wanted to bust this out, man.
That's nice.
Nice.
Alex Ross, Shazam, with his junk and Superman. Like, what you gonna do now?
God damn, he's big as hell. He's all swollen up, ready to go.
There's my Jackson Bostwick autograph from whenever I met him.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. He was a cool dude. So obviously that's the 70 era's look that he has.
I like when they sign in that gold pin. That looks.
Oh yeah, the gold is awesome.
The gold is awesome.
He actually has some of those Shazam Bronze Age comic books for sale on his site last time I checked.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can get them.
That's the only thing I'm missing in my Shazam stuff. I'm missing just a couple of the Ordway runs, just when the print count was real low in that Power Shazam run. And then I think I'm missing like 9 books from the original CC Beck run, and that's it. I've got my number 1 through, I think, number 7. So I'm missing the Black Adam book, which a lot of people are because that's the pricey one. But I'm only missing, I think, 8 or 9 books out of that run.
Hey, Brian, I just want to let you know that if I was still in the group chat or anything, if he was still here, he would say his name is not Shazam, it is Captain Marvel. He stands by that.
Yeah, he definitely does. Yeah, I mean, because we went back and forth about that when we talked. He was actually very angry. Jackson Bostwick was at Jeff Johns for knuckling under to not fighting for using Captain Marvel and changing it to, of course we know it's an acronym Shazam, but it's even referenced in the TV show. But they kind of use both, because Billy obviously yells Shazam, but then they call him in the TV show, they call him Captain Marvel. So, but Bostwick was really angry that Johns was just like, nah, it's Shazam from here on out, when they revitalized him in the JLA. But it was even prior to that because DC had already lost the copyright.
Yeah, they lost it, which is their fault.
Exactly. They just sat on it.
Is this the Black Adam book you're talking about?
No, I have that one. The Black Adam book from the original CC Beck run, I guess that's either the first or second appearance of Black Adam. I think it's like issue 23, maybe.
I love this cover on this one, man. I love that gold, man. This would be great to get signed with some of that gold pen you were just talking about.
Yeah.
That's the only Black Adam I have.
Yeah, and he's prominent in that Week 52 run. I mean, he's in a lot of those books. So I'm curious what the movie's going to do.
When you say the 52 run, you talking about the 52 series?
Yeah, that 52 series. But every time you look it up, like when I look it up, somebody refer to it as Week 52. I'm like, what? If you just type in 52, it doesn't come up.
I brought that omnibus when it first came out. I love that. I loved that series.
Yeah,
that.
You
I
get
felt like
both of those books in dollar bins, except for the Kate Kane first appearance and now the ISIS appearance, and I think issue 12 or 21, I can't remember, is getting really hot. So that book's kind of pricing up a little bit, but most of those books you can still get for $1 just about anywhere.
Yeah, well, I remember when I brought the omnibus because I wanted to give it a try. It's hard to buy a series that comes out weekly, 52 weeks. Like when DC did that with the new 52, with the new 52 Futures in, I was like, man, I can't do that, man. That's like $2.99 or $3.99 a week for one book.
Right.
I'm like, no. I'll wait for the omnibus.
Especially if you're a reader, you don't care about covers and all that. You want to read the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to read it in one sitting.
Yeah, you want to read a bunch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got all the Immortal Hulks still. That's one thing that stayed on my pull list from Jump Street. That's the only thing. I do have Venom on there too, but I don't know if I got it from the Jump.
Yeah, I tend to just wait for something when it comes to current comics, if something don't interest me, if I read the first 2 or 3 issues of it, then I'll just cut it loose. Right. If something does interest me, within those first 2 or 3 issues, but I feel like it'll probably read better in collected format. Then I'll just wait and get the rest in trade. Because I feel like it'll be much better, and that's how I feel with a lot of Hickman's work. I love Jonathan Hickman, but I can't really do him in singles because I feel like his stuff reads better in collected editions.
And that's quite possibly where we're moving anyway. I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, we all know about the crash of the 90s, and then comics has had an up and down history ever since then. But, with all this discussion about overloading the market with variants and obviously cover price issues, you go on all these other channels and people want to talk about, is this the end or is this just another bump in the road? I mean, who knows? There's so much chatter right now about the DC raising Batman in, I guess, June, raising the cover price to $6 or $5.99 to be technical. But, if I sometimes feel like this is a little bit according to a long-range plan, maybe risky, but a plan for DC to, abandon the print format, just price us out so they can go to a digital format and go to what everybody wants, which is a monthly subscriber thing. I was telling my wife the other day, if you think about it, music did that. iTunes segued out of the whole, singles for 99 cents and $1.29 to a monthly subscription for $10, and you get all the music you want. I can't see why DC, now that they've shuffled all their talent around and brought in people from the Daniel Cherry's from the gaming industry and Nike and whatever. So he's probably telling them that, hey, monthly subscriptions are the new normal. And that's where you want people because it's guaranteed, income rather than people jumping on or jumping off of a book every month. So it could be part of a plan. I don't know. We won't know until it happens, obviously, unless somebody, leaks the master plan. But, that's where I think it might be going.
So let's talk about that. What's your opinions on what Brian just said with the whole DC price going up, and could we see the end of physical comics? Because even Quest for Legends brought it up in the YouTube story not YouTube, but IG story when I posted about it. So what's your thoughts on this?
I'll be gone. You can believe it. I better have a physical copy or I'm done because I'm a cover guy. You screw me with that. I'll go right to the card business. I'll go right
here.
I'll go right to cards because I want to hold some. That's why I don't do Bitcoin and all that because, man, I don't know what the hell I got. I need some physical shit. I'm from the old school. I need to hold my shit and see my shit. Just how I feel about. I wouldn't. If you're a reader, I would understand it 100%. But they will lose some people. That's for sure.
And look, you got like most modern fans prefer digital, and that's fine. They're on the digital. They get to read all the Marvel Unlimited stuff, so they prefer to read all the old stuff through Marvel Unlimited. But for me, I've been buying comics since the early 90s, and I've read digital, but it just doesn't fit how I want to read something. I want to read it holding in my hand, a book, a novel or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Digital is for something like, if you're not even close by your books, but you can access it digitally, then I'll read it there until I get to my physical copy. But I prefer the physical. And if they go forward with this, all that's going to do is all right, now I can focus specifically on some old school comics, buying back issues, Bronze Age and Silver Age, Copper Age.
What would that do?
That's what I will focus on.
What would that do to CGC? That would put them in a bind, wouldn't it?
Well, I think they'd see a bigger influx of, once people like us that are true collectors start, digging through these dollar bins even more feverishly than we already do now.
Yeah.
They'd get, we'd be grading everything because then you're talking about something becoming extinct. So now,
something totally.
Then everything becomes valuable. Even all that, throw it against the wall and see what sticks comics from the
dollar books become $5 and $10 books and probably going up all the time.
Yeah. So, like I said, I really don't know where it's going, and we probably won't know. But if you take a look at other media, they've been easing, dipping their toes in the water and then easing us into the deep end for years with stuff. I mean, look at how we absorb content now. We used to buy, we used to obviously go to the movies, and that was so expensive to own it. And then when DVDs and VCRs and all this stuff became affordable, we then started building our own collections. And then it seemed ridiculous to own like 200 movies in your home. And then, of course, you get your streaming services that seemed, pricey and crazy at first. And they were kind of like even Netflix. Remember, they paired it with physical distribution. So you could either get a physical, DVD or stream it. But at the time, the physical media collection was bigger than the streaming collection. And then those two ships passed in the night, and then it became, more in the streaming box. And now it's all about IP. So they're all fighting for IP and which streaming service has the most. And then here we are, we're like, oh, wait, do we want to go dig through a $5 DVD bin at Walmart? Or do we just want to say, screw it and pay $7 to rent it from Amazon?
Yeah. Byron, it kind of reminds me of, the coins too. You notice how there's coin shortages now, and we don't have coins. And are they trying to do away with coins? Because how in the hell could you not have coins, man?
Right.
They make billions and millions of coins, and that I don't have any coins, so it makes me think, And it's kind of like they got say baseball cards like this. Mm-hmm. You can now, if it's say this is a rare card, say this is Babe Ruth's rookie card. You can buy part ownership of a card now. Yeah. They've got part ownership. Like Lasso could own a 16th, Steve owned a 16th. And the only way you can own this card, though, is if I can talk Lasso out of his. And then what's he going to do, man? That's going to cost you a little more, if you want my part so that you can get the whole card. That's what they're starting to do now.
Yeah. And that does exist in comics as well. I heard people like Bueller and Comic Tom talking about it.
Yeah, selling, like who's going to be able to afford a Superman 1?
Right.
Or, AF-15 and 9.0, you could possibly own part of that. That would be still pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I saw someone soliciting that for X-Men 1.
So it's already, it has begun.
Yep.
Oh, man. I don't know. I love my comics. I love being able to pick it up, look at it. I got a 6.0.
Yeah,
I don't have to have 9.0s and 9.8s and everything. But my older books, if they're 5.0, 6.0, I'm happy. Even 4s, I'm happy with all that, man.
I remember what Nathan talking about. Vinyls are popular
again. Right. They become extinct because just like Byron.
Because people thought vinyls was dead when they had CDs. Like they had your cassettes players, and then you had the CDs, and people like, oh, vinyls, we don't need that no more. But what people forget is that when you play music through a vinyl, it sounds much, much better compared to the CD. That audio sound from a vinyl.
And the CD sounds better than a download.
Hey, but when a record starts, when it used to start to go, and then that boom,
that dusty sound.
Or your guitar riff came in was awesome, man. And
the audio quality of records is just superior.
Sean, they never heard that. They're probably like, man, that's pretty awesome, hearing it all like that. You can hear a lot of stuff you can't hear.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Magic remembers how they used to do songs and they'd come in certain speakers. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the guitar or something will come in this speaker and the drums in here. And man, if you didn't have a good sound system, you were getting screwed. You're like,
because they were mixed on multi-track. Yeah, I was going to say just Lasso having his radio experience can probably attest to the days. Because I was in radio in the 80s, that if you played it on a vinyl, you had to do that little wind trick on the turntable where you had to spin it backwards, because when you clicked from the audio board for that to stop, if you didn't wind it back, you got that whoosh sound out over the air. So you had to scroll it back about 3/4 of a turn to allow the turntable to get up to speed.
And if you would do that enough to the same record over and over, it created something that in the radio industry they called cue burn.
Yep.
And that's this little kind of like the from the needle having been set down in that spot.
Yeah. How it sounds when you first start on the record.
And then driving it the other direction.
Yep. Yeah, and driving it the other direction.
Where would the scratchers be, Sean? Nowhere to be found without their record to go back on.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah, but Sean mentioned it. Like I said, it's just throughout history with media. We had things on vinyl, and then you kind of had 8 tracks too. I know my brother was massive into 8 tracks, and then cassettes, and then CDs, and then of course your downloadable files, and there's so much stuff. And comics can go the exact same route.
You know what's crazy too is if you look at a book that's graded 9.4 to 9.8, you can't most of the time even find the difference.
Yeah.
Only in price can you find the difference in a number. It kind of reminds me of like the NCAA tournament. I'm a number 2 seed. They're a number 15 seed. The number 2 is going to beat them no matter. That shit has nothing to do with nothing, but that will sway a person in a minute. I got a 9.8. It's the best there is. Well, I got a 9.6, and you can't tell me the difference. So, but I paid $300 and you paid $8.
And it's really interesting what the CGC will do in terms of a grade, because there's certain things that they will overlook as a printing error versus
especially the
error.
corners, especially the corners when they got that little white at the top.
Yeah, that Marvel chipping is what they refer to it as, is one of the big things. So it's a print error, or even like the newsstands. I don't know if you remember, they used to either stamp the book with a date, just to let them know how long it's put on the shelf.
I think it should give your book an extra up in the grade.
It does, yeah. So they don't look at that as a defect. They said when they first started, they used to downgrade a book, but they quit pretty quick. And then the other thing, sometimes if you get your old back issues, like Bronze Age especially, you might see like a little painted strip at the top. Newsstands would do that. They would like paint a little strip of either green or red or something across those pages, and it was according to a color scheme that they had, so they knew how long it was on the shelf and if they were going to send it back or not, to the publisher.
Like this book, check this book out, Brian. This book is pretty sweet book, but look at that date stamp.
Yep, right there in the moon.
On the moon, man, and it kind of is ominous. It's just, I freaking probably would never sell this book because just of the date stamp alone.
Yeah.
I love that date stamp. Now, where do you go?
But I think everything we've seen over the last 15 years has been just trying to move straight to digital, while keeping the physical. And we all know the video game industry, that was a huge debate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember the whole issue with the Xbox One when that first dropped and the DRM and all that stuff? And people was like, nah, we don't want that shit because you're trying to force people more into digital gaming, just buying the game off your website, off the service. And people's like, we still want to own physical games.
But think about it, Sean, it's like clothes. Everything comes in cycles, Oh, bell bottoms are out. 10 years later, bell bottoms are in. That's just how this goes, Oh, I don't want no records, man. I want records. It's just how it's always good to hang on to your shit, though, man. I've found that out. No matter what, never throw nothing away because you never know, man.
Right. I'm a cartridge kid, because I can't think of getting a video game, anything on Atari 2600.
Then slam that cartridge in and play.
And then you got to dust out the cartridge or blow into the into the thing to get it to work.
Yeah,
hey, you know how much air I wasted blowing into some cartridge, man?
Yeah.
Sean, you could have been a good ass Olympic swimmer with all that lung space you do.
Oh man, the Genesis and Super NES.
Hey, Sean. When I was walking out of the store today, I saw a lady, an older lady, and man walking up with a Sega Genesis in the box to go sell to the Big Red's Toys. Wow. I almost stopped and said, hey, man, how much you want from that? Because that was the first one that I really loved was Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
I almost stopped him. I said, man, he'll probably think I'm interrupting his business, so I better just let him go on in.
Yeah, he probably already made a deal inside the stuff.
Yeah.
He probably already tickets in the parking lot. He's scalping Sega Genesis before the guy even gets in there.
Yeah, I get the Sega Genesis from them for $25 and go in there. Hey man, will you give me 50 for this? I would feel filthy. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Man.
Yeah, video games is like that's another rabbit hole.
Video games
we talk about
worth so much, man. I would have never got rid of one of them.
All those.
So many.
I remember when I first saw people selling the first Super Mario Brothers on Amazon, and I saw the fucking price. I'm like, what?
Crazy.
And now the next you know, I'm seeing Zelda and all those old games is just boxed and nice, fresh looking. They selling for millions of dollars. It's crazy.
I have two friends in Pennsylvania that are video game, the old school, like Atari and ColecoVision, nuts. My friend Big Al, as we call him, has an entire basement with multiple TVs in the old, Atari VCS, ColecoVision all hooked up. And then just his wall is those old school cartridge holders you used to be able to buy. Just games everywhere. And then my friend Sal collects all the old Atari 2600 games in the package. So you go down to his basement, and he's got this just collection of like wrapped Space Invaders or Berserk or, you know, Pac-Man, you know, that hideous version that Atari put out. I mean, all sealed in packages, and, you know, it's crazy.
Look what BB said. That's true, 100% true. A pizza and a soda. Hey, and I don't drink any sodas anymore, hardly at all. But when I eat pizza, I almost gotta have a Coke.
Same here.
You know, I don't really ever crave a Coke, but when I got pizza, I'm like, God, man, I need a Coke, man. And we never have Coke here because I just don't drink Cokes anymore. The acid and all that's bad for you.
Man, we had a lot of conversations today, man.
Hey, Magic, what is the one Wonder Woman book that you want that you may never get?
Well, All-Star #8. That's her first appearance.
That's okay. That's the first appearance. Yeah, I didn't know what her first appearance was.
But you know what? Let's take the 3 big books of hers out. All-Star #8, which is her first appearance. She's not even on the cover of it. She's an 8-page insert in the middle of the book. Let's take that out. Let's take Sensation Comics #1 out, which is her first cover appearance. And let's take Wonder Woman Volume 1, Issue #1. Let's take all 3 of those out of the running, okay? I would say it's a tie between 2 different books, either Sensation Comics #6, and the reason I said that's the issue where she gets her magic lasso. And with that being my username, I thought that would be pretty cool.
She's nothing without that lasso. That's her. That's what everyone knows her by.
Yeah, I thought that would be pretty cool to be Magic Lasso and have the book that is the first appearance of the Magic Lasso. And either that or that Sensation Comics #6, or ironically Wonder Woman #6, which is the first appearance of Cheetah, because that's my favorite supervillain. So we'll see. I mean, I never thought I would own some of the books that I own, like a 105, which is, you know, deemed by Overstreet as scarce. I never thought I'd own one of those, and I do. So if it happens, that's amazing. If not, it's okay.
If you can't, like I want Fantastic Four 1 and 5. Their #5 was it $3,000? I want to say 8 months ago or so. It's at $10,000 now, and #1's higher than that. If #5's that, you know, #1's higher than that. So I don't even want to look at it because it'll depress me. So I'm not gonna do that.
As I say, just wait until people are spending money on sports tickets and concert tickets,
and they come back down, and then I strike with vengeance, furious vengeance, and get my books and dash off in the night, never give them back.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. So what's the most expensive out of those? All-Star 8 is like, if value wise, people say All-Star 8's first appearance, the most valuable one.
Yeah. Damn. And then it probably is Sensation 1, because since All-Star 8, like I said, was just an 8-page insert at the last minute decision to essentially promote Sensation Comics #1, which was about to drop. And they thought, well, let's just throw it in this book and maybe we can get some boys to buy this. What a lot of people don't know about the character is her creator, William Moulton Marsden, who's also the man who invented the lie detector. So keep in mind, we have a lasso of truth, and the man invented the lie detector.
Without that, you don't have that.
Yeah. One thing that he was such a forward-thinking man, he envisioned a time that there would be a huge women's movement. He actually thought it would happen in the 1970s, but it really started in the 60s. And he created Wonder Woman, ironically, for boys, because he wanted boys at an impressionable young age to be comfortable with an assertive woman who can do whatever a man can do. That was subconscious decision on his part.
You know what's funny is I watched Andy Griffith, where his girlfriend wanted to be the city council. She wanted to be something like that. I can't remember exactly, but they were like, "Oh, not a woman," not a woman. Yeah. And that they would ban Andy Griffith if they see that issue, right? They're going to ban him. He's going to get what do they call cancel culture to him. And but then they go through, when you watch the whole show, they go through and they go, man, she's actually right. She's right for the job. And it kind of, that's what people got to think. It doesn't matter who you are, what color you are, if you're right for the job, you should get the job. It's just that simple. People don't see it that way, but that's the way things should be.
There might be a rising up to Steve if they cancel Matlock. Especially here in Florida.
They cancel
Frankenstein mobs will form.
I want to cancel the cancel culture. Can't we start that one and get them canceled so that they can cancel more of our shit? Because when they cancel Sanford and Son and them, I'm done. That's it. I'm just going to buy them all on DVD. You're not going to be able to cancel them before I get them.
Yeah, VV raises a good little point down there. And with Marsden, that Lasso was talking about, there's a movie. I think it's called William Marsden and the Women. Is that right, Lasso? Do you know?
It's like Professor Marsden and the Wonder Women.
Yeah, but that's with Luke Evans from The Hobbit and the Dracula 2000. He plays Marsden, and it's really good, and it gives you a really good walk around in his headspace for creating the character and how he incorporated his lifestyle a little bit into what she does.
That's awesome.
He had a very progressive lifestyle for the era that he lived in.
Right.
Yeah.
And he passed away very young, actually. Mm-hmm. And even after he passed away, those two women maintained their relationship with each other, even though he was gone.
Yeah.
So.
And like Steve was talking about canceling people, like if you watch that movie that we're talking about, his neighbors, everybody was like, if you believe that to even be half true, we're all against him and that progressive mentality that he had. And they were trying to drive him out of the neighborhood. He's like, look, I'm actually a good guy.
Yeah, man. How about judge somebody for what they do instead of how they look or what they anything else, man?
Just some random polls that I'm just grabbing.
Show the 105. Ryan, I want to see the 105.
Give me a second because that's not in this box. That's in my safety box.
That's in your safe box. I'd love to see that book, man.
Give me 1 second.
I'm going to do some work. I like this. Yeah, right.
Give me 1 second and I'll pull that for you.
Who that already showed us one, which that kind of made me really happy.
It's funny you brought up Marsden because I remember I never knew like the history of him, and when I watched that special that AMC did, that Kirkman was behind doing all those specials on AMC on the comic book history, and I watched that, I was like, wow, this is something I didn't know because I didn't really do research on the creator of Wonder Woman. I didn't know that he actually had two women. One was his wife, one was his mistress, and they both, said, fuck it. We like what he's doing. And he was forward thinking. So I was like, wow, that was pretty clever.
Oh, man. Look at that. Damn, I've never seen that cover, man. Damn.
I've only ever seen one other one besides this with my own eyes, and that was at C2E.
One. I didn't know that was the cover. I always see the cover with her on the horse, the white horse or whatever. I don't know what number that is, but I always see that one a lot. And I see the one with you had her on the bomb. I've seen that one quite, but this one I've never seen. Damn.
And here, since we've been talking a lot about the 98.
Oh, yeah, I did see that one.
This is first Silver Age Wonder Woman.
Damn. Going over frickin' looks like Niagara Falls fighting on a log against herself. Not cool.
And see, those are covers right there that pulls you in. You see that on the rack, and you just want to open up and read it. Two Wonder Womans fighting on the cover?
Yeah. Why are they fighting? Who are they? Yeah. Oh, man. Hell yeah.
Even this is fun,
Awesome.
I just love the old school covers, man. I'm not a big Batman fan, but Batman covers are just so freaking awesome to me. They're plain Jane, usually yellow, but they got cool vehicles and just cool characters, man. And the colors are awesome.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jaws ain't going to take her out.
That started.
Yeah.
Sharknado #1.
Hey, I didn't know all I had to do was talk trash to Who Dat, and I could see all his good books.
Steve, I'll show you all my good books whenever you want.
I'll be like, damn, Who Dat, you ain't got nothing, man. You're full of crap, man.
But see, I already know you. You can't do it. I already know you. It's only people that don't, that don't even say hello.
Oh, I saw that one today, Sean. He's got that at Ryan, he's got that at
This one?
Yes, he's got that one. At Big Red's has that on the wall. I think he's slabbed. I think it's a slabbed.
Nice.
I liked it because I saw the swordfish on the front. I was like, "That's awesome, man." Jeez, man. Damn, he looks
so creepy, man.
He looks like that guy that makes the voodoo dolls and just gonna stab holes in you and just cause you pain. God, talking about crocodiles. No wonder you don't like crocodiles. Now we know where that comes from.
Here's one that I really like. I like this cover.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Y'all want to hear something funny? I said Sharknado. My daughter thought I said tornado and went in the corner and put her head down.
She went, hey, everyone thinks that we get the hurricanes and all the bad stuff. Who that when it's really you guys and the Carolinas that get it worse than us, man.
Yeah, y'all just slow them down a little bit. But
we really don't slow them down. We help them when it goes to you because the warm water. The Gulf of freaking Mexico freaking enhances them.
Yeah. Lately, the northern Gulf, like when it gets closer to the land,
those are all fire ass covers, man.
That reminds me of that Flash cover with him in the mirrors. Like that.
Damn, look at them covers.
Here's a fun one.
Hey, he's got some of those older Wonder Womans, man. I saw in a box today. I want to say there were 10 or 12 centers, and I need to check them out and see, if you have them or not. Man, they're not that expensive. You don't have them. They ain't their first appearance. He usually doesn't jack none of those up.
Yeah, he's a little more action figure driven up there, so I think he's pretty fair on his comics.
Yeah, his comics. Yeah, he's more toy driven and older toys and stuff. He's got some banger comics. I went and he showed me his vault one day, Byron. He's got a vault back there. He showed me, Fantastic Four 1 signed by Stan Lee and stuff like that. He had a bunch of nice books back there. I was like, damn. He said, come in on a Wednesday when my partner's not here and I'll show you the vault. And so I did it, man. It was awesome. Damn, boy, you got a hell of a Wonder Woman collection. Oh, there's Cheetah right there.
You know how many?
That's the Cheetah right there that's badass with a full Cheetah outfit on. That's badass, man. Throw some ears on her and some fangs.
Yeah, Legion of Doom style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, do you have a number of how many Wonder Woman comics you actually own?
I could
He's
figure
got
it up.
Probably a pretty close ballpark figure off his head.
Looking at my CLZs, we have 271 of Volume 1, 240 of Volume 2, 86 of Volume 3, 126 of Volume 4, 269 of Volume 5, plus a ton of one-shots and one-offs, annuals and stuff too. So
that's north of 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm expecting Steve to send me what he's writing down.
Well, I'm just writing down some stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're writing down, man.
What, man? I'm just writing down some numbers of some stuff I'm thinking about in my head. Hey, Sean, I played some basketball games. I bet some basketball games. Oh yeah. Damn, that was one I really liked because that's a creepy one. You don't see those very often.
Here's a book that's really heated up in the last few months. It's the first appearance of
nice.
I think I saw that one. That might have been one he had too. Man, he's got some bangers on the wall too. They're graded, I'm pretty sure.
Ryan, are you giving Wonder Girl a chance? The Yara Flor title?
I have. I read the Future State. Now, Yara Flor, I really liked her in the Superman Wonder Woman, and I liked her in the Future State Justice League. Her own title that Joelle Jones did, I wasn't that big on. But will I give it a shot? Yeah, I'll give it a shot. But
yeah, I bought it as well. I think it was good for what they were going for. Again, like the Jeff John Shazam run, I think it skews a little younger. I think they're looking for that kind of like, I don't know, maybe 12 to 16-year-old audience in terms of You know, the verbiage and the way it's designed.
So let me ask this: was the 2 issues not enough to get the full enjoyment of the character, or was it just the writing from Jones?
Well, I liked her appearances that other people were writing, like in the Superman Wonder Woman. I really liked her in there, and I really liked her in the Future State Justice League.
Yeah.
It could be the story, because the story was a little slow. Could be.
She seems so much more mature in the Justice League writing.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt like she was kind of, I don't know, almost like a Pokemon-ish kind of character in the
Flash in her, baby.
This was an era where Wonder Woman was trying to. She had just gotten her powers back from being depowered, and the Justice League wanted her back, but she didn't know if she was worthy. So she wanted to do like Hercules had at 12 labors. So in each issue, the Justice League would monitor one of her activities and report back if she was worthy or not on rejoining the JLA.
Interesting era for Wonder Woman, especially when she lost her powers and got them back. And I remember when I watched that special and how, a lot of women wanted, like when they took away the bondage of Wonder Woman, that was like a huge deal that had an uproar. Like, we want the Wonder Woman that we grew up reading back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I think it wasn't Gloria Steinem that was like champion that whole movement after that.
She did. Gloria Steinem put Wonder Woman, the costume Wonder Woman, on the cover of Ms. Magazine, the very first issue. And, she was depowered at that time. And essentially Gloria Steinem started saying, what are you doing? You took away a character that was hope and inspiration to so many young women. What are you doing? And DC kind of went, yeah, what are we doing?
I'm glad you told me about that they put her in so young boys would. That I would have never knew that in a million years.
Yeah, she actually was created for.
That was the smartest approach ever, maybe.
People think that she was created for girls, but she was created for boys. And something else that her creator did that was so wise on his site, he set a deal, and this has been confirmed by people who've worked on Wonder Woman, that if DC does not publish X amount of Wonder Woman comic books a year, they lose the rights to the character.
Wow.
And even regardless of how well the book is or is not selling, the licensing of this character, that would be too much to lose from being able to license her out. So that was brilliant of his. He created a character that's always going to be around,
Yeah.
Just pulling some random ones from the second volume.
Big hair. She must have been in the 70s.
This is John Byrne, 90s.
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
John Byrne's a guy whose style I feel changed a lot as he went through. You know what I mean? Like, because I love his artwork from like the Marvel Team Up era when he was doing that book with Chris Claremont, and then of course he had a good run on Fantastic Four. But by the time he kind of got to She-Hulk and some of the stuff afterwards, I don't know. It's more like pop culture's cartoony rather than serious art.
Damn.
Adam Hughes.
Yeah. Great story too of the modern day Wonder Woman going back in time and running into her mother as Wonder Woman, but she can't let her mother know who she is. It's a very good story.
Back to the Future, Wonder Woman style.
Took the word right out of my mouth.
When he met his mom and she was like, "Oh, Calvin."
Yeah. That's right, Calvin. Why do you keep calling me Calvin?
Why do you keep calling me Calvin?
What do you think of that run? Ryan?
It was okay. It was okay. It was a little different, but I've seen worse and I've read worse.
That was J. Michael Straczynski, right?
Yeah, I don't think it lasted long enough for it to really get going the way it should have.
Yeah, Straczynski was in a lot of DC titles at that time, though. Even had his fingerprints on Superman as well.
Yeah. the New 52 Brian Azzarello.
Yep.
Actually, I have like the first 2 trades of that, the Brian Azzarello run.
I actually like that New 52 run, especially as it gets later and the Meredith and David Finch take it over.
I actually met them, and that's who the other signature on that book was. It was Meredith Finch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I met both the Finches. They were pretty cool.
That's a rare instance or retailer. I don't know if this is a 1 in 100. I don't think it is. It might be a 1 in 50.
Still, 1 in 50s are, man, you want to buy 50 books or something? We were talking about that today on that on a what you call it book. Oh, that's nice. Damn,
Little
that's a
Batman
really cool cover right there.
And Wonder Woman 77.
And you know, Ryan, we might see a Wonder Woman book, a little more in that vein if the Superman and Batman books are coming out with later in the year prove to be successful. They're doing that Superman 78 model after the Richard Donner film, and then the Batman 89 after the Michael Keaton. So maybe we'll see. I know that's where they were going with that book you're holding up, but maybe they'll revisit that kind of Linda Carter era.
Yeah, they very well could. I mean, they've done a few one-shots on that already. This, as you mentioned, besides being Green Arrow's 80th anniversary, is Wonder Woman's 80th as well this year.
Okay.
And we are getting, starting in June, a limited series, Wonder Woman Black, White, and Gold.
I did see it. Some of those covers look impressive already.
The covers are really nice. They have a really nice Ramona Fradon cover too, and you don't see much of her work anymore. So that was nice.
Yeah, I think the first one's in the June solicitations, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think there's four covers for it.
Yep.
This one on the 750 issue. This was the one cover that I knew I was buying day one.
Yeah, that's a sweet cover.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Adam Hughes. I really liked this cover. 140. What's up? This issue with her and Superman, and they always mess around with these two in terms of their relationship in comics.
Well, I think they really only went headlong into it, Sean, during the New 52 era, where it was really promoted as a relationship, and that's actually a good story to tell, because the whole thing then was, okay, now wait a minute, what if two of the most powerful people in the world, are together, and what if if they're like-minded, what if they turn evil, and unilaterally start making decisions like, that New 52 run, they decided to go over and stop Black Adam for doing what he was doing, even though the Justice League was not going to get involved with that. They went over and fought him, and they were like, look, you guys can't make these decisions on your own just because you think they're right or wrong. So those were all good stories to tell.
And I remember, when they launched the Superman Wonder Woman series with Tony Daniels, that they had them fight Doomsday as their first major villain.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zod came in. That's when Zod and Ursa came in.
Right.
But then after the New 52 ended and Rebirth started, they kind of went away from that and went because they brought in pre-New 52 Superman.
Mm-hmm.
The New 52 Superman died at the end of that story arc, and they brought back pre-52 Superman.
Yeah, that was so weird how they had to deal with that, and Mixelplick was involved, or Mixie Pixelic, or I always
that damn name.
I mean, because the Saturday morning cartoon used to call him Mixelplick, but then I've heard it's Mixel Pixelic or something other people talk about. I'm like, dude, whatever.
It's just hard to say that name, man. If he would have told me to say his name just to get rid of him, oh boy, might take a few tries. It's this beautiful Michael Turner.
Yeah, that's nice.
And this I got a free copy of this, the free one. I have a couple more. The rest of them are the awesome Jenny Frison covers.
Yeah. She is so good.
Yeah. She's real good.
And she's nice too. We were talking about creators and other celebrity types before. I've never heard anyone have a bad story. I had a great interaction with her when I met her, and I haven't heard anyone who hasn't had that same experience.
That's the book I sent Kavi, because Kavi's got everything. I sent him the first Jenny Frison cover, the Hack and Slash, where she looks like Oz. And I accidentally bought it because I thought it was a cool looking cover. I didn't know it was her. I knew nothing about her. And he said that's something I don't have. I was like, damn, thank God, man. I'm sending this. Don't buy it. I sent it to they cracked the slab on the delivery. I'm like, damn, man. So we had to get it re-slabbed, but Jenny.
Well, Sean, I think I'm going to head your way. I'm going up to Orlando. I'm going to spend the night up there because I'm going to Olo tomorrow. So I got about a 2.5-hour drive. So I think I'm going to cut out.
Yeah, I'm about to cut out too. I got some stuff to do. I got to see what we're doing for dinner and see if I got to go get something.
Yeah.
Well, then,
I had a great time hanging out with all of you, and thank you, Sean, for inviting me on here.
No problem, man. If you ever want to come back on, man, I'll send you the link every Saturday if you want to join in.
I would love to.
Yeah, this is
Same with
definitely
you, Brian.
experience. I'm so thankful you had me come on. It's great to meet Ryan, and of course, interact with Steve again, and Hoodad over there in New Orleans. So, this is what I wanted to do. When I decided to dip my toe in the water and get into this YouTube community, I wanted to meet people. I wanted to talk comics. I wanted to spread my wings, and everything that I wanted to have happen is happening so far. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, man, it's the funnest thing, man. Is meeting people, man.
Yeah.
You can come. Comics are going to come and go, but man, your friendships are the best thing. You get to hear stories, you know people, and like I learned a lot of shit about Wonder Woman that I didn't even know.
Oh yeah.
It's created for guys, and that was a brilliant marketing strategy, man. What a smart thing to do, man.
Hey, Sean, can I do a very shameless plug before I leave?
Sure.
I got this, as we talk how amazing this community is, I got this massive box from Comics for Thomas, and he's in Canada. I'm here in the States, and I'm going to open it live Wednesday night. He's going to join me at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. I know that's a little late, so if someone can't catch it live, just to catch it on the rewind. But I know there's some comics in there, but this box is so big. And he told me there's something that's not a comic book, but I think he won it in a raffle. And he said if he wins this raffle, he was going to give this to me, and he won the raffle.
God dang.
I mean,
if that ain't
this
supposed
box
to happen,
is
what
humongous.
is?
Yeah, so I've heard people do what's in the box. I'm going to do what's in the big box Wednesday night on my channel. And if I understand if no one can catch it live, but if you could catch it on the rewind sometime, that would be
hit me up when you're going live, like right before you go live, Ryan. That way, because I'm a late nighter, so it'll be fine for me.
And Thomas has got a little bit of a tight schedule, so we're not going to be dilly-dallying around before we open it. When we go live, we're going to start opening it pretty quick after, because it's 2 hours later for him where he's at in Canada. So I got to be mindful on a weeknight of his time too. But I have no idea what it is. I mean, it's a heavier box. It's not like you can't pick it up, but you wouldn't want to hold on to it for a long time. It's heavy. So I have no idea what it is, but we're going to find out what it is on my channel this upcoming Wednesday night. So thank you for letting me plug that.
No problem. Hey, I'm looking forward to watching it. I won't be able to watch it live because I usually leave out to go to work, but I'll definitely tune in.
Yeah.
And I
that's why
also want to
Jeff had
I also want to shout out Hoodad for popping in.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on.
Showing that X-Men one. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. No.
Power to the people.
No, I know, but no, shout out to you, man. I like these Saturdays. Even when I can't make it, I like to, listen to it. Especially when I
if I can't make it, a lot of times I'm listening in the chat.
Yeah, I always like to listen. Always like to listen.
I know, Steve, you've been MIA on this show, and you've been here since day one. So
it's
always great to see your presence.
Yeah, I've been super busy, but I always listen to them and go back and see what happened, what I missed. So Don't think I ain't up to date.
All right, everybody, thanks for showing up in the chat. You know, it's been another awesome show. Thanks to Ryan and Brian for coming on and having a fantastic show, learning about Wonder Woman and some more Bronze Age comics. Always awesome. You know, make sure you tune in tonight because Strictly Incredible Podcast is going to have an interview with California Blend at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, he told me about that. I was on
you
with
can
him the
have
other
that.
night.
So make sure you
get you on that show with us. We've been talking cards. We're going to get you on with Simply.
And I know Lasso noticed the Wonder Woman California Blend paint back.
Yeah, right behind you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, she's got some nice slabs for sale right now too, man. She's got a Groot. I know she's making me look at that on purpose, man. She put that in Instagram.
She got that Green Lantern one.
With Rocket on
that
his
Far
shoulder.
Sector. Oh man, that
Far Sector one.
And slabbed up and signed. Oh shit.
And John already got a nice commission from her on that. So
yeah,
she's really killing the sketch cover game.
Yeah, man, she's doing damn good. She's good.
So thanks everybody for joining. There probably won't be a show next Saturday. I don't know yet, but I know next month it's going to be hectic for me. So I might try and get a show in the first weekend of April if I can get home in time, because I do want to go to that event with Boatwright. But if there's no show, there won't be no show. And
if there'll be a show, it'll be a remote show on site for an hour.
Exactly. So, but thanks everybody for showing up. This is your boy Puff. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Later, everybody.
Later.